Farm Bureau broadcast booth brought to you by Agents Chris Thomas and Tanner Baggett. Stephen Fitzhugh Field at Eagles Stadium. We are on the campus of Ouachita Christian School, Monroe, Louisiana, for another edition of Ouachita Christian Eagle football. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here on the Ouachita Christian Sports Network for tonight's contest between the Grant Cougars and your Ouachita Christian Eagles. My name's David Gordy, and it's going to be my privilege to bring you the play-by-play call tonight. Handling the color commentary, my broadcast partner, Daniel Kirkendall. Down on the sideline, our man on the field with the Marion State Bank sideline report is Nick White. And as usual, Donnie Haley is up here in the booth with us, bringing you all the numbers. And Daniel, it's a good-looking football team that Grant brings over tonight. As they made their way out onto the field, they're kind of going through their pregame warm-ups. The Eagles came out a little early, and as usual, they'll go through their pregame warm-ups and then go in the locker room to get ready for tonight's contest. Both teams are on the field, and both teams are warming up. We're about 25 minutes away from getting this contest underway. I'd like to remind our listeners that tonight this game is being streamed live in high definition at OCS.org. There's a lot of ways you can access this game. You can go to YouTube, look up Ouachita Christian Football, and bam, you're there. Or you can use the school's website as a portal. Go to the live stream, Ouachita Christian Grant, watch the game, and listen to our call from your TV, computer, or smartphone device. Brandon McQuillan and the guys do a great job of this every week, being able to bring you what I consider. Hey, look, there's a lot of people out there streaming. I got to tell you, I'm kind of partial.
Well, last night we had the luxury of being at home, and there were a lot of games last night, good games, that, you go around and you look at. And I'm not going to mention any names, but, man, I am proud of what we do. I say we. I mean, we're just the audio for it, but what they do with their cameras and mixing it up and producing it with the graphics.
It's phenomenal.
It's better than some colleges. ESPN Plus. It's better. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Well, it is. It's such a great job. I want to thank every one of those guys every week. And I got news for you. Hey, these guys give it a go on the road.
Oh.
They don't do it here at Eagle Stadium. Now, I will tell you this. You know that McQuillan, that whole team, they take a sigh, they sigh and take a deep breath when they know we're playing at home because, man, you want to talk about a much easier thing to set up here at Fitzhugh Field at Eagle Stadium.
Well, the last 2 days have been you take a deep breath. I usually help Brandon load stuff up and didn't have to. As a matter of fact, Brandon's out of town tonight, and Heath Griffin's going to be running the show. Heath joined our team this year, and has spent the last 8+ weeks learning how to do this game, and do the equipment. He's helped out a lot, does the graphics. He's with Vero's Creative, and so I'm thankful Heath is here. He's going to do a great job, and I know Brandon's happy to have somebody like that.
Absolutely, we're great. We're super happy to have Heath up here in the booth with us tonight, and of course all the guys that are out on the cameras tonight, bringing you tonight's game. We're also on the Wolf 92.3. If you want just the audio, or you can tune in via the MixLR app. Lots of options and no shortage of access to Ouachita Christian Eagle football. Daniel, you and I alluded to it. It's great to be home. It's great to be here at Fitzhugh Field at Eagle Stadium. The great accommodations. I got to tell you, this press box up here is fantastic. It's a great spot to broadcast a football game, and we want to send some love to Kim Stinson and her crew, as well as the administration here at Ouachita Christian. These are great accommodations.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, you think about, we've had a variety of environments calling football games this year. Anything from, we started off with the Jamboree at West Monroe, and been on the road an awful lot. So we went to Ruston, West Monroe before the season starts, and then only 2 home games, and then we had 4 more away games.
Shreveport, Monticello, you name it,
Arkansas,
right?
Yeah. Good gracious.
But it is great to be home, and as grateful and as happy as we are to be home tonight. Coach Fitzhugh and his football team are grateful to be here as well. Grant's a 4A high school located in Dry Prong, Louisiana. One of 3 high schools in Grant Parish, and not a real long drive tonight for the Cougars, right at about an hour and a half. Saul driving, they probably would have been here in about an hour, in about an hour.
Well, it's a tough drive, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. I mean, there's no quick way to get to Dry Prong.
Well, if there's anyone that could find a quicker way to do it, it would be him. To make it up here to Eagle Stadium tonight from Drive Prong for what we hope should be a pretty good football game tonight. Let's take a minute to go down to the field, check in with Nick White and the Marion State Bank sideline report as we get ready. Nick's going to have a chance to catch up with Ouachita Christian head football coach Stephen Fitzhugh. But Nick, when I was walking around down there earlier, man, it is a nice night to play football.
Yeah, and I chuckled whenever you mentioned Dry Prong because I know I've gotten a ticket, and you talk about our friend Saul Graves, and we know he's got a lead foot. But you travel as much as I have, just like you, David, you're going to get speeding tickets, and you know, we'll ask for forgiveness later, but I've definitely gotten one in Dry Prong, and so it's probably what Dry Prong is most known for, is being a speed trap. But we'll move from that. Hey, you talk about the weather. It's a little bit overcast, but should be a really good night for football tonight. I don't think we're going to have any rain or anything like that. And you guys mentioned how nice it is to be at home. Like, man, it was Daniel texted, I think, our group, it was either Tuesday or Wednesday, home game, baby.
Yep.
And for the next 2 weeks, we're at home, and hopefully coming up in the playoffs, we're at home. And I think that's what's so important about this football game. You get power points. You obviously want the win, but you're going to get, what, 3, Daniel? Excuse me, 6?
No, not well. No, we only get 4 from this game.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, but you're going to get play-up points no matter what. But also you gotta start getting sharpened up for the playoffs. And I think that's what's so important about this football game. And you know, this is a good football team that's coming up here. And you know, they know about OCS. I heard you talk about last night. I was doing the same thing. I was kind of going around and listening, and everybody, you know, from a coach's show to a football game, they're talking about Ouachita Christian, saying that this is a really good football team. And now you get another chance to go and try to prove this here tonight against a very good Grant football team.
All right, Nick, thanks a lot. Nick White with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Daniel will probably be going down to probably head down to Nick pretty quickly. Well, a matter of fact, we're just never going to leave Nick because we're going to stay down on the field with him as he has a chance to catch up with Ouachita Christian varsity football head football coach Stephen Fitzhugh.
All right, guys. Hey, yeah. So you guys are really going to pay me well tonight for all this talking. So we got Coach Fitzhugh. Hey, Coach. You know, last week I'm sure you talked to Daniel about it a little bit. A little bit of a slow start over at Cedar Creek, but 35-0 on the road, district opponent. I know you're pleased with that, obviously with some injuries and things like that. What have you built upon from last week's game to try to get ready for this non-district football game against Grant?
Just execution. I mean, I thought all 3 phases of the game, I thought Luke played his best game of the year. I mean, he was 17-21 passing, and 2 or 3 of those were dropped. And so he was on the money, very aggressive. And again, that was his best game. That's what he's just got to keep on doing, being aggressive in his passing. And then defensively, I thought our guys played with a lot higher intensity last week. We needed that, and we need to come out and just keep building on that here late in the year, and just, again, play a dominating defense, everybody doing their job. And we had guys step up. You know, Trey Carr stepped in secondary for Hudnall. Trace Busby is back after being out for a month, did a good job on the D-line. And so those guys did great. And then special teams, you know, for Tate to break one again, you know, and then our you know, we caused them on another punt. We got pressure back there where we were able to tackle the punter and get good field position. So, again, just all 3 phases of the game, we've got to build on that. One thing, you know, challenge our team with is we've got to create turnovers. You know, St. Fred, Cedar Creek game, we had 0 takeaways. And that's the difference in ball games when you hit the playoffs. And so our offense has done a good job of taking care of it. They got to continue to do that. And then defensively, we got to be intentional about getting the ball out.
You know, we talk a lot, you know, Daniel and David and I, we talk about Tate a lot. And I haven't seen every punt return, but last week's punt return for him might have been the most impressive that I've seen him ever do. Like, that was the vision. You know, just all of it was as good as I've ever seen.
It was. I told him it was the ugliest catch I've ever seen on a punt return, the way he jumped up and grabbed it with his hands facing the wrong direction. But what he did after that was beautiful, and I'm with you. I think that was the prettiest one because he had two guys that had him dead in the right there, and he made both those guys miss, made another one miss, and then got a stiff arm and just, yeah, that I agree. I think that's one of the prettiest ones he's ever had.
What about the health of your football team? We know Zach was out last week. You know, where are we at, you know, going into week 9 and obviously with the playoffs approaching?
You know, Zach and Jet, they're both dressed out tonight, and we're going to use them as a as needed basis. You know, if we can have the opportunity to limit their play and continue to get them healed up and well, then that's what we'll do. If we need them, they're ready to go.
All right, finally, I know you need to get in there to the locker room, but tell us a little bit about Grant. What are your concerns going into this football game?
Well, they lost their quarterback last week. Had a senior that had led that offense, and so they're having a new identity tonight offensively, but still you're going to do what you do. They're predominantly a running team. You know, defensively they you know, run 3-4 defense like a lot of what we've seen throughout this year and stuff, and so you know, again, have not had a whole lot of history with them. First time we've ever played them, and so you know, they started off the season, you know, I think 3-2, and both those losses were within a touchdown, and then they've run into some rough roads here with Neville and Peabody here the last couple of weeks, but they're fighting for a playoff spot. They're sitting around number 33, 34 right now, so they're fighting for a playoff spot to challenge our guys. That, you know, we're fighting for home field advantage in the playoffs. So that's what is on the line for this game.
Hey, Stephen, good luck, and we'll talk to you again here very soon.
All right, thanks, Nick.
Thanks, buddy. All right, that's Stephen Fitzhugh, head football coach at Ouachita Christian. Back up to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Nick. Nick White with the Marion State Bank sideline report, and having an opportunity to catch up with the varsity football head coach here at Ouachita Christian, Stephen Fitzhugh. Now the series between these two teams is tied. It's 0-0, and there's a good reason for that, and that's because the Eagles have never faced Grant in football before. Now I think you're maybe even the Lady Eagle softball team. I think you guys had maybe played Grant.
Move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying you hope the results are different tonight,
yes,
right?
I do. They have a really good softball program.
All
so,
right.
Yeah.
But this will be the first chance that the Eagles have faced Grant in football tonight. The Eagles come into tonight at 7-1, coming off a nice win, as Nick mentioned, over Cedar Creek last week, 35-0. The Cougars entered tonight's contest at 3-5. And coming off a pretty tough loss last week to the Peabody War Horses, and I guess one of the biggest things in that loss was an injury to their starting quarterback, and their starting quarterback was number 13, Jackson Hedrick. And I want to tell you, I thought one of the interesting things that was, I played football in college with a guy named Guy Hedrick. Well, guess what? He went to Grant, so his son was the starting quarterback for the Grant Cougars. It was going to be kind of, I was looking forward to getting to watch that young man play. His dad was a fantastic football player, great leader, and unfortunately for Grant tonight, he is not going to be playing that position. Had a chance to catch up with the radio crew from Grant next door, and he is definitely going to be out of the game tonight. But the head coach for the Ouachita Christian Eagles is in his 26th season, Coach Fitzhugh. Stephen Fitzhugh's career record with the Eagles is 247 wins against 79 losses. The head coach for the Cougars is Jarvis Felton, and Coach Felton is in his first season at Grant, and with a career record of 3 wins and 5 losses with the Cougars. The Eagles are currently ranked number 2 in the state according to the Class 1A Louisiana Sports Writers Association poll. The Cougars come in unranked in 4A according to the same poll. All right, we're talking about polls, and, having said that, well, the polls are getting ready to matter a lot less this time of the year, because we're going to shift from polls and we're going to shift to something that does matter, which are the power ratings. And I know it's too early, for the Eagles and for Coach Fitzhugh, to start thinking about power ratings in the playoffs. But is it too early for us? Is it too early for Eagle fans? I don't think so.
I don't think so either, David. I guess we've been talking about them going on a month now, you know, because you start seeing how things shape up. I think they release power ratings week 4, and during the season while it's live, there's a number of ways you can go about that. You can go ahead and calculate all your play-up points for all your games and put them in there and see how that works out, or you can wait till you play that game to put them in. So if you look online, see your power ratings, you'll see a couple of different ways to go about that. But I know there's a couple websites that do a good job with that. But no, it's not too early to talk about power ratings. It's not. That's something that we need to talk about quite a bit, because when you look at the games that you play, and, you know, sometimes we're like, oh, we're playing Grant. You know, we look over there, we don't see a ton of fans. We see a small roster, and you're like, well, it's just another game. Well, the truth is, this game is a big game for OCS. And the reason is, you know, they have a few wins. To get a bye in the first round and to possibly have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, this is a must-win for that to happen. So you have to look at it from that standpoint. There's nothing that Coach Fitzhugh, these fans, you and I want more than to be at home through the playoffs. Now, there are some things that can happen to throw you off, but, you know, the power rating system is
well, I think like you told me, you control what you can control, right?
That's it.
Which is winning your games.
Yeah, and there's 3 ways to control the power ratings. First way, win football games. That's the biggest, I guess, needle mover you would call it. If you want to move up in the power ratings, you win football games. I know we talk about play-up points and all those other things, but that's not even the second biggest needle mover. The second one is the strength of your opponent, because you get a point for every win that your opponent has, and that goes for every team. So you want to play a tough schedule so you get more points for more opponent wins so you can move up on teams. For instance, we're at number 4 right now. We're about 0.3 of a point behind Riverside. So, you know, if Harding Academy, for instance, goes 10-0, well, we get 10 points. You spread that over, you get 10 points over 10 games, so that gives us a point. That adds a point to our total. And so, you know, there's a lot that can happen. And that's what makes power ratings interesting, because last week on the way home from Cedar Creek, I'm listening to the radio, and the scoreboard shows talking about this game going into overtime between Tensas and Sicily Island. And I know they were like, well, you know, we can go ahead and release these scores because it's Tensas and Sicily Island. I'm like, no, let's go there, let's tune in, let's see how this game turns out. It goes to overtime, and the reason is Tensas on our schedule. We don't count on many wins from Tensas, but they got one last week, and that's going to give us 1/10 of a point added to our cumulative total. And so, you know, Tensas helped us out last week, so that was pretty cool. But it's kind of a fickle thing. A lot of people don't understand it. You know, or they don't like it because they don't understand it. But the power rating is a good system. I believe it's a good system. A lot of people, like I said, say it's junk, but I think it's a good system. I think if you go back years and look at the Dome since it was initiated, you'll see most of the time you have the 1s and the 2s playing the championship, or the 1s and the 3s. You know, there's teams in the top 4 most of the time. Well, what happened recently, last year the LHSA made some changes to the playoffs. This year they made some more changes to the LHSA playoffs, so it gets kind of confusing. Nick talked about the points we get. We don't get points on classification anymore. So you're 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A. The only thing that's used for is who you're in a district with. That's it. Then you got to look at your division. So Grant is a 4A team, but they play in non-select Division 2. We're in select Division 4, so 4 minus 2 is 2, so we get 2 points per division, so we get 4 points just for playing them. We get their 3 wins, maybe 4 if they win next week, added, and then we get 10 points for the total, and that'll be about 18 points we can get from this game. We're sitting at around 15.3 right now, so that'll move us up a little bit. So that's why this is a big game. If we lose this game, you know, we can shoot down into 7 or 8 and possibly have to travel in the quarterfinals.
So essentially what you're saying is this is a big game tonight.
It is a big game, and it's not the only big game for us. I mean, there's other teams that are playing. Last night I was watching Logansport and St. Mary, you know, play just to see what happened to St. Mary, because they were at number 1. They followed to Logansport, and now they're sitting behind us. Or no, they're sitting at number 3, and we can jump them and Riverside easily and move up to number 2 with the win tonight.
So big game tonight as both teams have made their way back out onto the field. The Eagles coming out tonight in green jerseys with gold trim, white pants with green trim, and of course a traditional Ouachita Christian gold helmet. Grant, well, they're wearing the traveling whites, white pants, black trim, and I would say, well, I say black, Daniel. It's kind of a dark purple.
Is crimson? maybe more maroon than crimson.
Maybe so. Yeah, it's kind of a maroon.
Arizona State.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
But it's a dark crimson color that their white pants are going to be trimmed in. Of course, the same number and the same color scheme on their helmet.
They usually have gold. Tonight. They usually have gold with it, like a yellow. But I don't see any of that, so they kind of look like Oklahoma or Stanford right now.
I think we could go with Stanford, maybe Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I agree. But they have made their way back out onto the field and completed their pregame activities. Ouachita Christian getting ready to take the field. All right, Eagle fans, you always want to know how the Eagles win the game tonight. Believe it or not, Daniels thinks he's got it. And right now, he's going to share that with all of us as he shares Daniels' ways we win.
Well, the ways we win, I've been kind of wrapped up in the PowerPoints. I really have. I've been just encapsulated with the PowerPoints.
So are you winging it right now?
No. Well, I got a couple things written down, you know.
I got you.
One thing I'd like to see from our team tonight, and this is how we win. I think we can win tonight and moving forward, is I want to see from our team some creativity and some unpredictability on offense. Start seeing some guys go in motion. Last week we saw Luke Vadrine starting to hit a couple different receivers, kind of more so than he had been. I want to see that continue to grow. Look for the receivers, get some other guys the ball. I don't think Zach's going to run the ball tonight. I think he's going to be on the sideline, so we'll see Macon Leonard and John Turner. And I'd like to see those guys get going. The last 2 weeks, we have not ran the ball like we had, the previous 6 games. So hopefully we'll get the ball going, but I think we can do that, especially if we move some guys around and give a different look.
And I'll tell you, too, that's another thing, too. The strength that you see from Macon Leonard is his ability to run on the edge. Find a way to get him the ball out in space where he's able to create out there. Zach is a tremendous runner in between the tackles. He delivers blows, he absorbs blows, and just does a great job running inside. When you compare that to what you see, the style from Leonard, boy, I tell you, when he gets to the edge, he can really make you pay.
Well, that's the thing. They can be a complement to each other because they do have different styles. And so I'd like to see both, Macon get going tonight, especially with Zach out. I'm looking down at the field right now. I see number 33, Noah Lovelady. He's our captain tonight with his dad and his brother. But of note, he's 6 tackles away from tying Cade Harper for the all-time
so you're saying he's
tackles.
7 from breaking
7 from breaking it. And based on his pace, we'll pray that he stays healthy. But, that should be taken care of by halftime, knowing him.
Well, I guess it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, somebody's keeping up with that for us. And well, as a matter of fact, we know they are.
Well, we know Donnie can keep up with it, but I had a chance to sit down with Coach Fitchie this week, and he talked about Noah and just the tremendous football player that he's been, starting for 4 years, and this record is not, it's not something to scoff at. I mean, that's 482 tackles that Cade Harper had, and it's been a standing record for quite a while, and Noah's really on pace to break that. So fun watching Noah play, and you and I have gotten to enjoy that for the last few years, and number 33 is a great ball player, and last week. You said it. What are these guys doing that aren't recruiting him?
I think, I get caught up in the heat of the moment, and the truth of the matter is.
Are you taking it back?
No, I'm not. The truth of the matter is I don't know. I mean, when you look at a kid like him, he flies through the football. He's instinctual. He's a football player. And, look, is he going to be the starting linebacker for LSU? I don't know. Is he capable? And, I don't know. But can he be the starting linebacker at Nicholls State? Can he be the starting linebacker at McNeese? Can he be the starting linebacker at some of the schools in let's just call out the Southland Conference? Heck yeah, he can. I think he could not only contribute. I think he could be a starter for him. But I think there's definitely some schools that I would think would want to get in touch with number 33. Does a great job here at Ouachita Christian, and they've been doing a great job for several years now, not just this one.
Yeah,
be nice to. I'll tell you right now. I think he's going to break that record just like you do, and I think it's going to happen in the first half. Well, let's go down to midfield, catch up with Nick White and the Marion State Bank sideline report for tonight's coin toss. Nick.
All right, guys, we're getting ready for the coin toss here with Noah.
The referee, this is Mr. Coleman. He's going to be the umpire. You handle your team, and let us handle everything else, okay? Any questions to that? All right, so here's the coin. It's tails and heads. Who's going to call it over here? Okay, I'm going to flip it and let it hit the ground. You make the call. Tails? You said tails? It is. Heads? You've won the toss. You want to defer? Ball. Okay, which way would you like to receive the ball? This way? Go that way.
All right, so Ouachita Christian wins the toss, and they have deferred until the second half. I want to make a note, too. Our head official tonight is Chip Pickett, and Chip and I go back 20-plus years, works in law enforcement, a school resource officer now in many different schools. So just really cool to catch up with him before the football game. And I promised him that we weren't going to bag on the crew tonight. So David, Daniel, we won't bag on them any tonight.
Thanks a lot, Nick. We're going to have our invocation and national anthem. We'll be back in a minute.
Activities. Father, I pray that everybody in attendance at one time in their life will turn their life over to you and be accepting your Son as their Savior, Father. So tonight, as we compete in athletics, Father, I pray that we'll compete with the best ability that you've given us, and that we'll have good friendship, we'll have good sportsmanship, and most of all, that you'll be glorified because you are the Almighty God. And it's through Jesus we pray. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Fitzhugh for welcoming everybody back into the Farm Bureau broadcast booth. Brought to you by Agents Chris Thomas and Tanner Baggett. Stephen Fitzhugh Field, the campus of Ouachita Christian School, Eagles Stadium. Eagles won the coin toss and deferred. Handling the kicking for the Eagles, sophomore Gavin Polk. Polk will tee it up at the 40-yard line. Gavin's got a bag of tricks, right? I mean, sometimes we get the sky kick, sometimes you get the low liner. But make no mistake about it, capable of kicking this football into the end zone as he tees it up at the 40. And we're underway. This is going to be well struck, and this is going to be fielded around the 2-yard line. On the return for the Cougars is number 9. It's Landon Frido. Frido's going to get it back. Looks like they'll mark him down at about the 9-yard line.
That was really good coverage. Several Eagles in on the tackle. Frido tried to swap fields, and we can't say it enough. On a kickoff return, you got to get north and south. He tried to run sideways, and the Cougars find themselves with poor field position to start off their first drive.
So they'll mark this one at about the 14-yard line. Going to be a gain of 12 yards on the play, and it's going to set up first down at 10 for the Grant Cougars. Starting quarterback,
number 4.
Looks like it is going to be number 4. That's Zane Wyndham. Wyndham will set him up in the shotgun. Going to turn, hand this one inside, looking for number 37. That's Caden Chandler. Chandler is going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll pick up no more. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for Grant. Starting quarterback for the Cougars so far this season was senior Jackson Hedrick. Hedrick out this week due to an injury. And instead, we got Zane Wyndham.
Yeah, well, Wyndham meets Ben Duvall for the first time. Nice play by the defensive line.
Going to turn again. They hand this one inside. Zane Wyndham, number 4, freshman quarterback. That time they go right up the middle, Daniel. They're going to pick up 1 yard on the play, but already they find themselves in 3rd down and 9. Maybe have to going to rely on the arm of the freshman.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something different. That was essentially the same play right up the middle for the first two, a design handoff, and man, I think that 1 yard is generosity in action.
3rd down and 9. Ball at the Cougar 15-yard line. First drive of the night. Cougars traveling from left to right from our vantage point. Wyndham sends a man in motion out of the backfield. Really having a tough time getting things situated as the play clock is now at 0. Going to turn. He hands this one off to number 10.
Ball's
That's
down.
Jaden Moore.
Oh, no.
And Moore is going to lose a yard. Actually, Donnie says he's going to lose 2. That's going to bring up 4th down, and the Cougars are going to send on the punting unit. And, boy, I tell you what, if I'm the Cougars, I really, really dread this.
You don't want to kick it to Tate Hamby, especially when he's on your side of the field. This could be a dangerous spot for the Cougars. And I tell you, I watched some film of the Hedrick quarterback, their senior quarterback. There was a lot of hype around him going into this year, and he's a good player. But to fill the shoes with the freshmen, they're going to have a tough time having like 3 days to try to figure out the timing with all of their offense.
Tate Hamby's going to have his heels in Cougar territory. It's a nice punt.
No. Oh,
it's going to hit. Tate's going to let it come to rest. It's going to take a Cougar roll, but the Eagles are going to already set up shop inside Grant territory as they'll spot this football at the Cougar 47-yard line. Punt covers 33 yards with no return. And Luke Vadrine is going to bring the Eagles out to the field. Sophomore quarterback. Going to have Macon Leonard with him in the backfield. 2 receivers split wide to his right. Tate Hamby split wide to his left. First possession of the night for Ouachita Christian, already in Cougar territory at the Grant 47-yard line. Vadrine in the shotgun. Good snap from center, actually a little high, pulls it down, unloads this one. It's going to go in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. He was looking for Dugan and couldn't find him. Well thrown football that time to Dugan, and he just couldn't haul it in.
Well, I was going to say he did find him. I mean, that was a really good throw. Nice play fake by Vadrine. Hits Dugan right in the hands, and the ball falls to the turf. So, rectifiable mistake. Hopefully, the Eagles look to not have any more of those drops. Fitz, you mentioned those before the game.
2nd 10 for the Eagles. Vadrine in the shotgun. Good snap. Oh, it's a high snap from center. Luke's going to wrestle it in, and I'll tell you what, he does a nice job getting back to the original line of scrimmage as he's going to pick up 1 yard on the play. Well, actually going to lose a yard, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Well, great defensive stand by the Eagles on Grant's first drive. Not the way you want to start off your offensive drive after that with a drop pass and a high snap. So Eagles behind the sticks also to start off on their first possession of the night.
3rd down and 10 for the Eagles. Well, 3rd and 11. Loss of 1 on the last play. 3rd down and 11. Vadrine in the shotgun. Bunch formation to his right. Good snap from center. He looks to throw. Now he's going to pull it down, and I tell you what, he's going to take a big shot on the far side of the field.
Number 19,
and he's going to pick up 7 yards on the play.
Kind of that no man's land.
Here we go. 4th down and 3. They put this at the Cougar 39. And I guess that's going to definitely be, well, we consider 4-down territory.
Yeah.
For the Eagles. First possession here in the first quarter. 4th down and 3. Ball at the Grant 49. Or 39.
He's
going to get the Cougars a jump. They came into the neutral zone. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty. And that's going to be more than enough for a community pharmacy first down for the Eagles.
Yeah, the right defensive end. Maybe he was coming from the linebacker position. Looks like he was coming in for the blitz, and looked like most of them, held their water. But this number 35 just jumped into the neutral zone.
It's going to be first down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball now at the Cougar 34-yard line. The Dream with 2 running backs with him in the backfield. One receiver right, 1 receiver left. Luke calls for the ball. Play action. Nice fake, and now he's going to roll, and he's going to go out of bounds on the far side of the field.
Number 19, Luke Madrid on the carry.
Looks like he's going to have enough for another community pharmacy first down as he gains 12 on the play. Man, do I hate to see our sophomore quarterback running the football.
Yes, I know you do, but that was a good decision. He looked for Tate on this side.
Hey, you know what? It was a great decision.
It was.
I still hate seeing him
I know.
run the
He got
football.
flushed out that time. You know, he was looking for Tate on the near side and just couldn't hang on long enough for him to get open because there was pressure. And Luke's flushed out and gets to the sideline and picks up the first down.
He does a great job of taking what the defense would give him.
Yep.
Picks up 12 yards. First down and 10 for the Eagles just outside the Washam Agency red zone. Vadreen in the shotgun. High snap from center. Daniel, he's had to pull several of those high snaps
That's pass
down
interference.
tonight. And now we do have pass interference. Clearly was.
Yeah.
And I think the ref actually was holding in his pocket to see if Tate caught it.
He almost did catch that. Tate tried to come back and get the ball. The defender never turned his head, found the ball, and just kept pushing Tate down the field. So clear pass interference, and that'll set up the Eagles with a, see, they're at the 22-yard line, so that should be half the distance.
I tell you what, we have had several high snaps on this drive.
Yeah, I think we've ran about 6 or 7 plays, and there's been about 2 or 3.
All right, following the pass interference, it's going to set the Eagles up first down, and let's see where they mark this.
It looks like it's just outside.
It's not going to be first and goal. It'll be first and 10 at the 11.
Yep.
Inside the Washam Agency red zone, Vadreen sends Hamby in motion, turns, gives this one to Tate. Tate's trying to find a seam on the far side.
I love
he
that.
does.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that was a big lick delivered right there at the end of that run.
Oh, not on Tate, but by Tate.
Oh, well, I think the defender thought he was going to maybe deliver a blow. Instead, he took a heck of a blow. Touchdown run covers 11 yards. That touchdown brought to you by the fine folks at Trinity Diamonds Direct.
Hey, that's the keys to victory right there. That's what we were talking about before the game.
Interesting ways to get the ball to players. Gavin Polk on to attempt the extra point. And I got to tell you something. That snap was way high. Great job that time by Patrick Turpin. Turpin does a good job going upstairs to get that one and get it back down on the ground. But, boy, I tell you what, we've had some high snaps that are going to be harder and harder to handle. And
well, that's 2 different people, you know. We had our long snapper with the high snap. Good job by Turpin, and our center on offense is got to get the ball down just a little bit. Luke's able to get his hands on it, but still throws the timing off.
Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Nick White, the Marion State Bank sideline report. Nick, how you doing down there?
Hey, doing great. What a great drive there for Ouachita Christian. Rolling the dice there, going for it on 4th down. I think on that 3rd down play, that was designed. They knew from the very beginning they were going to go for it right there. But I do want to make a note. Obviously, Ouachita Christian 7-0. The snaps are off tonight, and we just referenced that on the PAT attempt. But they've been a little bit high, and we've talked about that. Just that quarter to a half a second that they will throw you off on the offense for Luke. Can mean something. So, I mean, as you try to freshen up going into the playoffs, that's something they're going to work on as we have an onside kick.
That's Eagle ball.
We do have an onside kick, and I don't think it could have been executed any better. Great job that time by sophomore kicker Gavin Polk, as Polk just kind of punches it down the field. Grant's not expecting it, and the Eagles recover it. And they're going to have the football first down and 10 again inside Cougar territory.
Yeah, Gavin just bumps it, lets it travel 10 yards.
Wait a second.
It traveled 10 yards.
There we go.
Yeah.
The official actually signaled Cougar ball, and now we're going to get a signal from the official, and it's Eagle ball. So first down and 10 for Ouachita Christian already in Cougar territory at the Grant 48-yard line.
Yeah, that was perfect. Gavin was able to even turn his body and field it with his chest to the ball and just put his knee down, and the Eagles let it travel 12 yards and retain possession.
The Dream with 3 receivers split wide to his right, 1 to his left. That one is Tate Hamby. Macon Leonard joins him in the backfield. First down and 10 for the Eagles, second possession of the night. First one ended in a touchdown. Good snap this time. Looks to throw.
Oh,
he's got
he let that one loose right there.
Hamby is going to drop the football. I don't think you can throw that one any better.
That may be Luke's best throw of the season. I mean, he let that one go, and that was, about a 36, 37-yard throw on the money. It just falls in and out of the hands of Tate Hamby.
Well thrown football that time, and let's give Tate a little love in the sense that he catches a whole lot more than he drops, and you know that nobody feels worse about that one than number 13 right now. And I guarantee you, he's begging him to give it back to him.
Yeah, he's like, he's not going to stop me. Let's do that one more time.
So it's going to be second down and 10. 2 receivers split wide to the right, 2 to the left. Turns, hands this one to Leonard, and Leonard gets hit right at the line of scrimmage. And that's one of those plays, man. I'd love to see you run the quick toss to him. You know, I mean,
yeah, he tries to cut inside. Yeah, that's right. Let him make a decision on the outside.
But here we go with third down now, as the Cougars stop him at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So here we go, third and 10. And again, at this part of the field, you got to think that maybe this is 2 down territory, or 4 down, I should say.
Yeah, we're in plus territory, just barely, you know. So we'll see. Probably need to pick up some yards here to go for it, I would think.
Third down and 10. The Dream in the shotgun. Offset eye backfield beside him. Sends Turpin in motion. Fakes, looks to throw, sets up the screen. He overthrows the screen. It's going to be incomplete. And now the Eagles are going to punt the football as they send the punting unit onto the field.
Well, they didn't pick up any yards. That'll bring up 4th and 10.
Well,
I like this decision.
I don't like to ever see us punt, but I got news for you. I love to watch Gavin Polk punt.
Well, especially right here.
Strike it.
He can, and you know this is going to be your old coffin corner here. He's going to try to pin the Cougars deep. I mean, he can punt it down inside the 20 for sure. Going to try to get it inside the 10 from this distance.
Or are we going to fake it?
Tell you, Hamby, we are going to fake it.
Of course we're going to fake it.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's trickery. It's tricky.
The old fumble-rooski.
Lovelady at the 10, the 5 before he's hitting wrapped up.
Dude.
But a heck of a play that time by the Eagles. And Lovelady, hey, he had to break a tackle there at the line of scrimmage to spring it, and he did. And he takes it inside the 5. A nice, tough run that time after the handoff by Lovelady. Gain of 41 yards on the play, and that's going to be more than enough for a community pharmacy first down. Look, it's going to put us inside the Washam Agency red zone.
Dude, Fitzhugh has the biggest smile I've seen on his face this year, and here's why. Because I watched him practice this play last week, and all the players were saying, this will never work, this will never work. So they snap the ball, and it's like a reverse handoff to the up back, and he takes off running. They said it wouldn't work. You know what? It worked.
Madreen with a toss. They get this one to Leonard.
There it is.
Space touchdown! Ouachita Christian.
That's what you were talking about right there.
We asked for the toss,
yep.
And we got the toss, and Leonard takes it in. He does a nice job outside, bouncing it in, setting up his block, and then kicking it out to the outside. He takes it in from 7 yards out as the Ouachita Christian Eagles add to the lead. 13-0.
Yep.
That touchdown brought to you by the fine folks at Trinity Diamonds Direct. Polk on for the extra point. Oh my, he unleashed on that one. Big kick that time for Gavin as he adds to the Eagle lead now, 14-0. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Nick White at a Marion State Bank sideline report. Nicholas.
Hey, that drive right there is about putting stuff on film, and you want to try to get ready for the playoffs and all that, and you want to make your opponents have to get prepared. What a beautifully executed fake punt right there, and then obviously a great handoff and a great run there by Macon Leonard. Good to see Macon get in there. He's been playing really well the last few weeks, and for him to get rewarded and get that touchdown, just really, really awesome.
And Nick, he does it too in space,
yes,
right? I mean, that's
absolutely.
where you love to see him. It's where he's the most effective. And when you see the coaching staff recognize that, see that, and then put it out there. Boy, I tell you, it was really nice to see. Good run that time.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
I think that was awesome. And you know, we talk about, you know, Zach White, Tate Hamby, all these guys, but to see Macon, you know, get that touchdown right there, and Daniel, I'm sure you agree, just being around him, good kid.
Yep,
and just awesome to see him get rewarded right there.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Nick. Nick White with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Ouachita Christian jumps out to a 14-0 lead over the Grant Cougars. Got 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. The first quarter brought to you by the Dugan Agency, or the Darren Dugan Agency, for all your home, auto, life, and business insurance needs. Call Darren Dugan, 318-807-2100. That's 318-807-2100. Want to thank Darren and his team at the Darren Dugan Agency for their continued support of Ouachita Christian Eagle Athletics. Nice job on the return that time for the Cougars. A gain of 20 yards on the return. Looks like they're going to take over here about first down and 10 at the 25.
All right, I called that fake punt a fumble-rooski. It's actually called a punt-rooski. Punt-rooski, and it was ran 35 years ago by Florida State in a game to beat the Clemson Tigers. They ran that fake punt and beat Clemson 35 years ago. And Fitch, you had me pull it up in practice the other day to show the guys that it would work.
Still working today.
It worked today, for sure.
First down and 10 for Grant, victims of the Punruski.
Yeah, there you go.
Ball at their own 25-yard line. Cougars keep this one on the ground.
Oh, nice job, Parker Payne.
Second time the Grants had an opportunity to get something going. A loss of 2 yards on the play. Number 10 for Grant's going to lose his helmet. He's going to have to come out of the game.
That brings up second down and 12 for the Cougars.
Second down and 12 for Grant. Ball now back at their own 22-yard line, 23-yard line.
Looking for space off the right side. Parker Payne from the rover position steps up there, makes a good hit and good tackle for a loss of yards.
Zane Wyndham, freshman quarterback, brings the Cougars to the line. Operates out of the shotgun with two running backs. Good snap from center. Keeps this one on the ground with number 37. And number 37 is Caden Chandler, and Chandler's going to lose 3 yards. And the Cougars are heading in the wrong direction, as now you're going to be looking at, looks like 3rd and 15. Loss of 2, loss of 3 is 5, so they'll put this one back at the 20-yard line. And Daniel, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen Mr. Wyndham put one in the air so far tonight, but at 3rd and 15, if they're going to throw it, this is probably the down and distance you'd see it. 2 receivers split wide to his right, 2 to his left. 1 running back with him in the backfield. 3rd and 15 at his own 20. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Eagles up by 14. There comes the heat, and he's not ready for it. Going to lose. Going to lose, looks like 6 on the play. It's going to bring up, well, you call it 4th and 21 now, and the Cougars, I assume, are going to punt this football. And again, you're going to see number 13, Tate Hamby, drift deep.
Yeah, it's going to be about from where they punted it their first possession. And, man, just Wyndham has pressure just swarming him from all sides. Ben Duvall coming on one side. I think that was Parker Payne coming from this side, and he just hits the deck. There's nowhere to go. Great job by the Eagles defense.
4th down at 21. On the punt for the Cougars. Actually looks like number 12, Dalton Haymond. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Haymond gets the snap. He gets it off. Pretty nice punt.
Trouble.
Going to be fielded cleanly by Tate. He's going to make 1 man miss. Now he makes 2. Now he's looking for the edge, and they're going to hem him up, do a nice job on the return. Tate, you know, I mean, hey, you know, we're used to him taking everything to the house, right? And in all actuality, a really nice return is now the Eagles are going to set up shop. 1st down and 10. Looks like at the Grant 26-yard line. The punt actually covered 25 yards, and Tate picked up 13 on the return.
Well, he's averaging like 37 yards of return on the season, so we're looking at that and like, oh, man, you know, but hey, you know, 13 yards on a punt return, getting the ball close to the red zone. Great job by the punt return team.
Absolutely. 1st down and 10 for the Eagles. 3rd possession of the night. The other 2 resulted in touchdowns. In Cougar territory at the Grant 26-yard line. Luke Vadrine in the gun. Gets a good snap and gives this one to Leonard. Leonard's got some room. Now he's got some space. Now he's got another gear touchdown. Ouachita Christian. Dude can.
Did you see him downshift about halfway there to let that defender run by?
Oh my goodness, gain of 26 yards on the return.
Yeah.
From Macon Leonard, second touchdown of the night. First run, nice run. Second run, fantastic.
Fantastic. You know, he busts through the hole, and he's right there, and throws it down a gear and lets the guy run by, and then picks it right back up and finishes the run untouched. Great job.
Gavin Polk on to attempt the extra point for the Eagles. Good snap this time. Kick is up, and it's good as the Eagles increase their lead now 21 to nothing. 3 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Let's take a minute to go down to the sideline and check in with Nick White and a Marion State Bank sideline report. Hey, Nick.
Hey guys, what an awesome run right there. Again, that's 2 for Macon now, and that was impressive. The field vision, the ability to cut back and just get that touchdown there is really awesome. And kudos. I was right here whenever he came off the field, and to see like his teammates just rallying, celebrating with him, and just so excited for him. I mean, that's what high school sports is all about. So I thought that was just really, really cool.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. I know we're going to need Macon in the weeks to come, and so it's good to see him kind of break through tonight against a good team. Now, we mentioned the quarterback's hurt. I think they're starting running backs hurt, so they're a depleted roster. They got a new coach this year. Their coach from last year took the job at Manny High School, and so just a lot of transition with this program this year. Tough district they play in as well.
And Gavin Polk tees it up at the 40-yard line. And this one is going to be fielded cleanly by number 9 for the Cougars. Does a nice job of moving the pile forward. It's actually Landon Fredo.
Number 33, Noah Lovelady on the tackle.
And Fredo
For the Eagles,
will take this one out. Man, looks like they'll put it right at the 26-yard line, or 27. So it's going to be a gain of 21 yards on the return. First down and 10. For the Cougars.
This is close to their best starting position of the night. I mentioned the Eagles defense just playing lights out right now, and I don't think the Cougars have got the ball out past the 30 so far.
It is going to be the third possession here for the Cougars. The first possession was a punt. Second, well, they didn't have a second possession because the Eagles fooled them with the onside kick. Third possession, well, ended in a sack and a punt. So the Cougars going to try to get something going here. As you mentioned, Daniel, I don't think they've made it past midfield tonight. This time they go up in the air, and that was not a real good throw.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Looked like Wyndham was trying to find number 7 out here for the Cougars. That's actually Landon Fredo, and it's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, kind of an errant throw, and Wyndham's kind of lucky there wasn't an Eagle there because that ball was in the air for quite a bit. The Eagles doing a good job of coverage there. Didn't see the ball come out of the backfield.
Well, let me correct myself. It was intended for number 7. We don't have a number 7 on our roster. Got a 6, got an 8, and got a 9. So it was intended for number 7. Second down and 10 for Grant at their own 27-yard line. Look to throw. This is going to be thrown behind.
There he is.
Guess who?
There he is, making his presence known, number 33, Noah Lovelady.
Boy, I mean, just fantastic closing speed and open field. Loss of 5 yards on the play. So, all right, so there's your tackle. But there's also another tackle for a loss.
That's at least one. I think he's been in on a couple more.
It's going to be a loss of 5 yards for Grant. So now you're looking at third down and 15.
You mentioned closing speed. I was going to say acceleration, same thing, but he just, he sees the ball early and shoots to it. Just unbelievable instincts.
Somebody's missing out.
Somebody is missing out, and somebody's going to get beat.
Third down and 15 for Grant. Ball now back at their own 22-yard line. Wyndham brings the Cougars to the line. Sets the throw. He does. Puts some air into this one. And it's going to be incomplete. Might have been a little pushing and shoving on the far side of the field. Either way, it's going to be incomplete, and now you're going to be looking at fourth down and long for the Cougars. And
It's 4th and 15. I mean, they're going to punt, but
Of course they are. I was just kind of looked like maybe the Eagle defense is going to be in some kind of, safe mode. But now Hamby will
Yeah.
take the field, and he'll have his heels at his own 50-yard, well, at midfield, as Grant sets up to punt this football. So now you're going to have a wide side of the field as they move the ball over. I don't know that I want to give Tate a wide side of the field,
that's right.
but I think that's what's going to happen. Cougars are going to
That's
change
bad.
punters
That's trouble,
here.
yep.
And it's going to be blocked. It's going to be fielded by Lovelady.
And he's going to walk in.
And he's going to take it in for a touchdown. Number 33, Noah Lovelady, is going to recover the blocked punt, and he's going to take it in for an Eagle touchdown as the Eagles add to their lead.
He's about 9 yards away from the snapper, the punter was, and I noticed that, he wasn't very deep, and the ball still didn't get there, and he just couldn't get it off the ground and off his foot in time. Ben Duvall there to block the punt. He just tips it up in the air.
Had a change in punter that time as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So now it's going to be Gavin Polk on to add to the Eagle lead. Good snap, good hold, and that'll split the upright as the Eagles increase their lead now 28-0. Daniel, I'm curious. I know you keep up with this probably a lot more than I do. At what point do we begin to see a game? When do we see the clock start running?
42 points. So Fitchy's going to leave his starters in there, and they're going to play football. But once you get to 42 points, that's when you have a running clock, regardless of the situation. So they're going to, we're going to see the Eagles keep going, keep playing their offense, keep working on their stuff, keep playing hard defense until at least we have a 42-point lead. So that's kind of the mark. I know a lot of people are wondering that, why don't we put some other guys in? Well, we want to get to that 42 points and make this as short a game as possible to ensure as much health as possible.
The Cougars, number 9, Landon Preview.
We got a new kicker. Smalling is going to step onto the field to handle the kicking chores for the Eagles. He's going to go with the sky kick and does, and he does a good. Oh, checked up.
Little backspin.
Oh, checked up. Oh, what a great kick that time. As Reed Smalling does a great job of checking that thing up, just like a nice pitching wedge.
Can you do that with a pitching wedge?
Of course I can. Of course I can.
I probably can too. I just
Get that
not
thing
on
to
purpose.
sit down. I don't know that was fantastic.
Yeah.
As Reed does a nice job, and I'll tell you what, man, he's money with that kick.
No, it's in a bucket every time he does it. I mean, he puts it in that same spot consistently.
Nice job of kicking the football. As Coach Fitzhugh getting a chance to get some of these other guys an opportunity to play. You don't know when you're going to need them, and Reed does that consistently.
Yep.
So it is going to be 1st down and 10 for Grant. Had a punt blocked last time. I don't think the Cougars have maybe made it past the 40-yard line so far. Eagles trying to work a few folks in late to the party. 1st down and 10 for Grant. Zane Wyndham, the freshman quarterback for the Cougars. Good snap, throws this one out in the flat. It's going to be caught, and the Eagles are going to drop him. Now we're going to have a penalty marker.
That's weird. There's just not a lot of resistance for this defensive line. I mean, they're just at will getting into the backfield of the Grant Cougars.
Loss of 4 yards on the play. It's going to be pass interference. Probably set up the. It was a screen, and if I had to venture a guess, I would tell you that we probably had a little bit of a rub route there to maybe keep that from happening. As it looked like the Eagle defender made the play, Daniel had to get through the block to get there. He did.
Yeah.
But he had to fight through it. So it's going to be a loss of 5 yards on the play. Coach Fitzhugh's going to decline the penalty. It's actually a loss of 4. So it's going to be 2nd down and 14 for Grant. They back them up to their own 27-yard line. Wyndham in the shotgun. Good snap from center.
Uh-oh.
looks to pull that one down. Looked like he may have had something there, but instead I think he's going to lose another 2 yards, and he is.
Man, I mean, the Eagles are giving him no time to throw the ball. Great job.
3rd down and 16 for Grant. They put this football at the Grant 26-yard line.
See, right now we're seeing some of our rotational players like Ryder Bentley, John Turner, who we depend on to play defense at some point. But Fitzhugh's trying to roll them in right now because hoping to get to the 42 points. I imagine he wants to get there before halftime. Uh-oh, stay out there.
3rd down, 17. And Grant has found a seam and then some. The Cougars are going to have their first down of the night. Ben Duval's actually going to lose his helmet, so he's going to have to come to the sideline. Little busted play by the defense that time. Gain of 19 yards on the play. Biggest play of the scrimmage so far of the night for Grant. Nice run that time, and that's number 37, Caden Chandler. Chandler does a nice job of getting up in there.
Yeah, Chandler finds a seam somehow, and you can see some of the confusion on the last 2 plays for the Eagle defense, trying to move players in and out. And a lot of times that's what will result from that, creating confusion.
We'll take a quick break from here at Eagle Stadium as the first quarter comes to an end. I want to thank you for tuning in to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on the Ouachita Christian Eagle Sports Network.
At 3B Outdoor Equipment, we pride ourselves on our service, and now we've added another location in West Monroe, located 1 mile south of I-20 on Well Road. Our new location offers the same level of customer service you've come to expect at our Monroe store, and is stocked with additional brands like Toro and Skag. 3B Outdoor Equipment, the equipment you need and the service you deserve.
Hey sports fans, this is Ashton Smith with Shelter Insurance. We are a local agency that specializes in providing the best coverages and service for our clients. We offer all your insurance needs such as
10 for the Grant Cougars. Biggest play of the night. Gain of 19 yards sets them up at their own 45-yard line. 1st down and 10. Zane Wyndham in the shotgun, turns, hands this one inside. Again, looking for number 36. Actually 37. That's Caden Chandler again. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 2nd down and 10. Ball at their own 45-yard line as we start the 2nd quarter of play. Ouachita Christian 28. Grant 0.
Nice tackle by number 7, Cooper Russell. Kind of the backup defensive end over there. Actually, he's in that linebacker right now, middle linebacker. So great job by Cooper.
Calls for the football, throws this one out in the flat. Big mistake. The Eagles were all over that one. Going to be a loss of 4 yards on the play. So now you're going to be looking at 3rd down and 17.
That was good recognition by number 12, Aiden Eldridge on that one. Just a quick pass. Aiden sniffs it out and comes up and makes the hit as soon as the receiver catches the ball. Maddox King comes in from the linebacker position and finishes the play off.
So they'll have it now 3rd and 14 at their own 41-yard line. Eagle defense has been stingy all night. As you mentioned, Daniel, you can see Bentley, stand-up defensive end.
Yep.
Good snap from center. They throw this one out in the flat. It's going to be Chandler, and he's going to be wrestled out of bounds. May have picked up a little yardage on the far side of the field. Actually, a gain of 1, so it is going to bring up 4th down now, 4th and 13. Don't see the Cougars punt team on yet.
Well, we mentioned, last week we saw a roster at Cedar Creek that was about less than 30 people. I'd say Grant is not much beyond 30 people. And so, I'm sure a lot of the players are playing both ways, or special teams as well. So I think that was Trace Busby on that last tackle, coming from the nose guard position. Had him on the coach's show this week, did a great job.
Cougars are going to keep the offense on the field. 4th down and 12. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout taken by Grant. A little bit of confusion there.
Yep.
And in all fairness, a little bit of confusion on the defensive side of the ball, too.
Well, they were in a punt formation, but they didn't have a punter on the field, so our defense thought they were going for it. They thought they were punting it, but they didn't have the right personnel in. So
Hey, you know what? Isn't it great to take a timeout?
that was much needed right there.
Just take a quick one. I'm sure the Eagle coaching staff is fine with it as well. Let's go down to the sideline. Check in with Nick White in the Marion State Bank sideline report. Nicholas?
Well, I talk about trying to get my steps in. I haven't gotten my steps in tonight because I've been on the same end of the field the entire night because the Eagles have been living on the side of the field that I'm at, and then obviously with the field swap. So hopefully whenever Ouachita Christian gets the football back, I'll get some steps in and move to the other side. But, really just a dominating game so far for the Eagles. And after a lethargic start last week, we talked about that, in Ruston at Cedar Creek. You can just feel the energy down here. It's completely different than it was last week.
Thanks a lot, Nick. Nick White with the Marion State Bank sideline report. 4th down and 12 for Grant. Good snap from center. Cougars looked to throw, and his receiver never saw it. Now, I will tell you this. He was actually looking for number 7. You know what Donnie does?
He finds out who number 7 is.
He does, and it's none other than Nelson Hunter.
Okay.
And Nelson Hunter is actually, you know what? It's backwards. It's Hunter Nelson. But I tell you what, with a name like Nelson Hunter, you could go either way, right? So
like
Hunter Nelson. So actually number 7 is Hunter Nelson. He was looking for Hunter, had him. As a matter of fact, it just Hunter never turned around, and that one travels incomplete. So it's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Eagles. They take over on downs already in Cougar territory at the Grant 43-yard line. Sophomore quarterback Luke Vadrine goes to work. Good snap from center. Has time. Unloads this one. And, boy, I tell you what, man. Our receivers, that is 3 different receivers, 3 perfectly thrown balls, and we can't seem to hang on to the football. Tate had a drop earlier. Dugan with a drop earlier. And
now that was Turpin.
Turpin right in and out of his hands. So well-thrown football, and the receivers just, boy, unable to secure the ball tonight. So it is going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Normally sure-handed receivers.
Yep, all 3 of them.
Vadrine in the shotgun. 2 running backs with him in the gun. Keeps this one on the ground to Leonard. Leonard's got some running room. He's across the 40 now. He's across
my goodness.
the 30. Ooh, the young man has got a blast.
He does. He ran through arm tackle. 2 arm tackles there.
Oh, it happens quick. Big gain on the play that time.
1st down, OCS.
Clock still running as he goes out of bounds. Gain of 23 yards on the play and more than enough for a community pharmacy 1st down. Now that is a little unusual here as the clock's running now with 8:50.
I guess he was tackled out of bounds.
Yeah, definitely.
So the exception to the 42 points is at the end of a quarter the coaches can agree. So that would mean that the Grant coach came out and said, hey, let's go ahead and get this clock running. I'm running short on players anyway. I got guys hurt. You guys are up 4 touchdowns, this early. So.
Vadrine with a good snap from center. Looks to throw. Puts some air under it. He's looking for Turpin.
Oh, what a catch.
But that's in the end zone.
What a catch. What a throw.
A well-thrown football. The touchdown is going to cover 20 yards from just inside the Washam Agency red zone. As that was, I tell you what, our quarterback's got the hot hand tonight. He is putting it on the spot. That was a beautifully thrown football that gave Turpin an opportunity to reel it in, as he does, and that's going to add to the Eagle lead.
Right at the back of the end zone, too. I mean, just a really nice throw.
Gavin on to attempt the extra point. He splits the uprights, and that's going to add to the Eagle lead, as Ouachita Christian will take a 35-0 lead.
Yeah, that really was a nice throw, and there's been a couple times tonight that we've seen Luke push the ball down the field, get behind it, step into the throw, and deliver it on time. The first one, of course, was dropped by Tate, which, it's just one of those things. We've seen it a couple times tonight. But that was another good throw, similar to the one in the first quarter.
Sponsors: King's Firestone, Johnny's Pizza, Jonathan Gregory, Shelter Insurance, Kipper Dirt and Rental, Craftman Federal Credit Union, and Louisiana Pain Care.
Hey, did we hit our first quarter sponsor?
We actually did.
Okay, good.
We actually did, but you know what? We're in the second quarter now, so why don't we thank the fine folks at D&H Sporting Goods. 2 locations in Bastrop and Sterlington to serve you. Stop by D&H Sporting Goods for all your Ouachita Christian Eagle gear. I can personally attest to the fact that they have plenty of it. Reed Smalling tees this one up and again drops it in a bucket. It's going to be handled. Oh, well, that's not a party to try and get up under as you got guys barreling down to tattoo you.
Yeah, all wearing the same jersey. No Eagles in on the tackle there. But, you know, the Cougars will recover the ball. Looks like around the 35-yard line or so, 32.
You know, when you sit him out there to kick those over and over again, I mean, he's going to develop a little confidence of being able to put it right there. And when you do, you know that they're going to build something off of it or around it.
Well, so the first time it checked up and it came backwards. That one was the exact same thing, except it bounced forward, you know. A little tricky right there.
It is. It is. It's something.
A little English on it.
It's a hot potato. Cougars are going to start off first down at 10 at their own 32-yard line. They trail in this contest right now, 35-0 with 8:05 left to play here in the first half. Freshman quarterback Zane Wyndham brings the Cougars to the line.
They've got kind of some kind of, they got 2 tight ends and 3 running backs. Oh, my goodness. That was an odd formation, David.
And we've got a penalty marker on the far side of the field.
Yeah. I think that was on the center because people were looking around and calling out their blocks, and the center just snaps the ball. Nobody's looking.
It looks like what they got penalized for, Daniels, too many men in the backfield.
Yeah, there was 5 of them in the backfield. I mean, and all right behind the offensive line.
Looks like the similar formation here.
They're going to have to put one more guy on the line, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yep. So those tight ends are going to have to step up and play off the tackle. There they go.
So number 2, difficult to say. Number 9 and number 2 both in the backfield. Looks like they're maybe trying to go with some type of wildcat type formation.
It's almost like that old Notre Dame box formation. I mean,
number 9, Landon Preview on the carry for the Cougars.
They had 2 fullbacks and then a tailback and a quarterback. It was almost like that old four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Well, so it'll be interesting to see. Didn't really work out probably the way they wanted it to. They may have made a yard on the play, so you're going to be looking now at 2nd and 14. I'm not really sure. May have made it. I think Donnie gave him a yard, so it is going to be 2nd and 14. They spot this football at the Grant 27-yard line. And again, we'll have a box type formation.
Yeah. Hey, why not? You know, you're down 35-0. You got a freshman quarterback.
Keep this one on the ground with number 9. He's trying to find a seam. Actually, that's number 2 for the Cougars, Keith McKinney. McKinney's going to pick up 3 yards, so positive yardage that time for McKinney, but it is going to bring up 3rd down and 10. And as a result, looks like we'll get a little dose of the more traditional offenses. They're probably going to have to try and throw this one, as it looks like Wyndham is making his way back out onto the field, and he does. 3rd down and 10 for Grant. Ball at their own 32-yard line. Clock running with 6 minutes left to play here in the first half. Wyndham in the shotgun. Good snap from center, looks to throw, pulls it down, and now he's in a bind. Ben Duval can be a problem for you.
Yeah, it's scary when he's
barreling down
full
on
tilt, you know, and Wyndham looks to the sideline to make a throw, and apparently his intended receiver was not open because he pulls it back down and he just goes to the ground. He knows it's over at that point.
Loss of 6 yards on the play. Looks like the Cougars will punt this one. Now this one, again, is going to be a different punter. Number 12 handled the punting chores for him early. That was Dalton Heyman. This looks like maybe number 37. That's Caden Chandler, possibly. Kind of tough to see from here. There's the snap. Eagles are going to let him punt it, and he does. It is Chandler. Gets his leg into this one, and the Eagles are going to run a reverse. This one's going to go to Hamby, and he's got a wall of blockers. Now we got penalty markers. all over
and
the
there comes
field.
another one flag. There's another. There it is. Flags flying in from everywhere. There's two back behind the play. There's two right where Hamby was tackled. That was definitely a horse collar tackle. And then we had a couple blocks in the back here.
Yeah,
So
it'll be interesting to see if they mark all these off or we replay fourth down.
a lot to sort out.
And boy, I tell you, nice variety of colors on the flags tonight.
I think they went to their secondary flags.
October National Breast Cancer Awareness
That's right.
Month, and we want to do our part in recognizing and all the survivors. Just about everybody that you know has had somebody in their family have to deal with breast cancer, and want to say we're grateful for all the research and the money that goes towards finding a cure. So it is going to offset. So we'll replay fourth down.
Yep.
And you know, it was interesting to see. It was interesting to see in your keys to victory tonight that you wanted to see a little creativity, man. Maybe do some things differently a little bit. You know what they've done? They've done that tonight.
Well, I've seen creativity on both sides. You know, I mean, even that formation we just saw from Grant, we've seen the punt rooski, the onside kick, and right there just kind of a reverse punt return. So that was actually a pretty good punt.
Toss sweep to Macon.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, jet sweep to Tate.
No. All right, so it is going to be fourth down again, and again, number 37, Caden Chandler. Chandler did a nice job of punting this football last time. He stands at his 15. He's going to lose the handle. The Eagles are going to let him get rid of it. Tate's going to have to. Macon's going to have to. Somebody's going to have to corral this one, and this time it's going to be Tate. And there's another flag.
And he's going to take that one.
Actually, I don't think that's a flag. That's going to be the ball marker.
Ball marker.
Tate's going to take this one back all the way for a touchdown.
Yep.
And they're going to count it. Yep, that's a beanbag. Not a flag. Tate adds another punt return for a touchdown to the resume.
Number 9 in his career.
Touchdown return covers 69 yards as Hamby takes it to the house to add to the Ouachita Christian lead with 4 minutes and 49 seconds left to play here in the half. Again, want to thank the second quarter sponsor, the fine folks at D&H Sporting Goods. Gavin on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it's good. That Eagle touchdown and all Eagle touchdowns brought to you by the fine folks at Trinity Diamonds Direct. Let's go down to the sideline in the Marion State Bank sideline report. Let's check in with Nick White. Nick, how you doing?
Doing great. What another great punt return right there by Tate. I did want to mention, you talked about all the different colors that were out there. There was a yellow flag, a traditional yellow flag. There was a true pink flag, and then David, I know you were such an accomplished gentleman that you'll appreciate this color, what I would call a fuchsia flag down there as well. We had 3 different colors. You got pink bean bags, all this stuff. But all that being said, just pure dominance right now by Ouachita Christian, and you can almost see like the punt return coming as soon as from my vantage point, whenever Tate reversed field and then cut it back to the middle of the field. And I mean, what's that now? 9 in his career? Is that right, Daniel?
That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, he just keeps adding to the record books.
Smalling's kick is going to be fielded cleanly at the 25-yard line by number 2, Keith McKinney. McKinney will turn it upfield, picks up 5 yards on the return. Looks like they'll put this football at the Cougar 37-yard line.
So we've seen guys moving in and out on defense, but it's been guys that are going to have to play. They're going to have to get meaningful snaps, and I think we'll continue to see that here in the first half, and then we'll start seeing some of the reserve and JV players in the third quarter. Now that we've reached that 42-point threshold.
I tell you, Grant is in no hurry to get out onto the football field.
Well,
it's been a long night. It's one of those nights where. And you mentioned it, man. Dealing with injuries, and it's just going to be a tough night as Wyndham gets into the shotgun. Good snap from center. He's going to turn. He hands this one off. That's number 2, Keith McKinney. And McKinney's going to get hemmed up and dropped in the backfield. Loss of 1 yard on the play. Unfortunately, it looks like we've got it. Well, no. Looked like we had a Cougar. Yeah.
Yeah, he's down. And
up under his own power, so.
That was Ben Duvall on the tackle. I don't know how many tackles Noah Lovelady has. Probably not very many because Ben Duvall has been getting all the tackles tonight at the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 11, loss of 1 yard. They put this football at the Cougar 36-yard line. Clock running with 3 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. Eagles 42, Cougars 0. Good snap from center. Again, they keep this one on the ground, and there's Ben Duvall.
I mean,
it's going to be tough for anybody to make a tackle when you're constantly even in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of 3 yards on the play, and it's going to bring up third down and 15 for Grant.
That's another player. Ben Duvall's another player that needs to play on Saturdays in the future. I mean, he is an animal. He is blowing up every single thing that Grant is trying to do tonight. And we've been seeing it for a couple years now.
Ben Duvall's one of those guys. Listen, he's a great football player, but you and I both know he's going to grow. He's young.
And he's already big.
Exactly.
And he's fast, and he's strong, and he's going to continue to develop. And, I think, I don't know. He'll end up somewhere, and he may end up somewhere bigger at some point.
Third down and 15 for Grant. Boy, they get a bad snap, and the Eagles are going to snip it out.
Bad to worse.
And it's going to be fourth down and less than a mile.
Yeah, not that much. Looks like about 25, 26.
Loss of 11 yards on the play. And here you go as Donnie goes to work.
Yeah.
Fourth down, and add 6, take away 5 plus 14 equals fourth down and 25. Ball's going to be at the Cougar 22-yard line as it looks like Grant takes their second time out of the half.
Yeah.
Or actually, looks like maybe Coach Fitzhugh burned that timeout. So the Eagles will take a timeout to put their punt return team together. And I would imagine we may see the old punt safe team here. And that's exactly what I imagine we're going to see with nobody on a return.
Yeah.
All elementary football players, please report to the field house.
Fourth down, 25. Does appear that the Eagles are going to let the Cougars punt this, so nobody drifts deep. And again, Caden Chandler will handle the punting chores for Grant. Clock running with 1:35 left to play here in the first half. Good snap from center, no rush. And Chandler gets his leg into this one, and he's going to get a Cougar roll. He's going to cross the 40, cross the 35. Looks like it'll stop at the Eagle 32-yard line, where the Eagles will take over with 1:10 left to play. I got a feeling they may run one play. 46 yards on the punt. Chandler does a nice job with that one. No return. I got a feeling the Eagles, the clock's going to stop with 1:10 left to play here in the first half. Ouachita Christian 42, Grant 0.
Well, it looks like Coach Vadrine is he's talking to his offense about something. So, you're looking at 2 plays here. I know. It's like we have 1 timeout left, and the Cougars have 2.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
All right,
maybe get a chance to catch up with Nick, but I'm sure they're just probably trying to figure out, hey, how do we?
Well.
How do we get 1:10 off the clock? And
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we got John Turner in the backfield, and then Macon's in at the slot right now. So we've got two receivers on each side.
First down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 32-yard line. Good snap from center. Luke looks to throw. Puts some air under it. Got a man. It's incomplete. That one a little bit out in front of Luke Edwards.
Second down and 10 for the Eagles.
Yeah, Luke's a freshman. I think we haven't seen him a whole lot this year. I know he shows a lot of promise. The coaches are excited about him.
Second down and 10. Clock running with 48 seconds left to play in the first half. High snap from center. Luke looks to throw and does. He gets this one to Turner. Turner got back to the line of scrimmage and no more, so it's going to be third down and 10 with 30 seconds left to play in the first half, and the Eagles are going to burn their third and final timeout here in the first half. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Nick White and a Marion State Bank sideline report. How you doing, Nick?
Hey, doing great. And you know, you guys probably are noticing they have as Daniel mentioned, the 42-point rule. They've started running the clock, but that only stops on timeout. So the timeout was taken right there. And look, I have the opinion, and there's nothing about running up the score or anything. I think, it's all fair game in the first half. I was just talking to somebody down here on the sidelines and saying, hey, this is going to be a great night to get a lot of guys some varsity experience. And I think that's what's going to happen in the second half. The clock's going to run, but still, I feel like you got to go, pedal to the metal in the first half and let the chips fall where they may. And I think that's what Ouachita Christian is trying to do right now.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Nick. Nick White with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Third down and 10, 30 seconds left to play here in the first half. Ouachita Christian 42, Grant 0.
Another thing you'll notice Ben Duvall in at right tackle, so they want to get him some experience there moving forward.
Good snap from center. Vadreen rolls, unloads, got a receiver. That's going to be caught over the middle of the field, and that's actually complete to number 15, Cam Boyan. Boyan with a nice reception as the clock running now, 18 seconds. Vadreen, gain of 18 yards in the gun. Good snap. Looks to throw. Feels some pressure. Pulls it down. He's going to have to roll back. Throws this one off his back foot. It's incomplete. And that is going to bring an end to the first half of play. The Ouachita Christian Eagles are going to take a 42-0 lead in at the half. I would imagine that whoever this is on is probably going to be declined, but we'll see. It looks like an ineligible man downfield, maybe.
I think
against the Eagles, and it's tipped.
I think our lineman tipped it, touched it.
And it's going to be it. No flag. So that is going to bring an end to the first half of play here at Fitzhugh Field, Eagles Stadium. The Ouachita Christian Eagles are going to take a 42-0 halftime lead in. I want to thank everybody for tuning in for the first half. Come back and join us here in the second half from here at Fitzhugh Field at Eagles Stadium. Ouachita Christian 42, Grant 0. You're listening to the Ouachita Christian Eagles Sports Network.
If your car or truck is broken down, or you locked your keys in your vehicle, or you just need a flat fix, call Bears Towing and Recovery at 388-3021. In fact, why not just save the number in your cell phone? That's 388-3021. Bears Towing is on call 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. They understand that an emergency doesn't happen at convenient times. Bears Towing, 388-3021. Bears Towing is a proud sponsor of OCS football.
Dreyer Contracting has been walked on and driven on all over town for 5 decades. Dreyer Contracting has been serving our community for over 50 years. That's a lot of asphalt, surface treatments, hot mix, parking lots, driveways, asphalt maintenance, dozer work, and crushed stone. You can walk and drive on us with confidence. Call 281-2242. Dreyer Contracting in Bastrop.
Everyone likes to be 3rd and 4th grade league champions. These boys finished with an 8-0 record. The team members are number 2, Jeff Bryant. Number 7, Shepard Jones. Number 9, James Butler. Number 10, Bryce Cobb. Number 11, Rhett Fulmer. Number 13, Brad Broddux. Number 14, Drake Williams. Number 15, Lucas Butler. Number 16, Jude Fix. Number 17, Grayson Moore. Number 19, Case Darty. Number 21, Cole Cash. Number 22, Reed Coates. Number 23, Drew Bossimo. Number 24, Luke Wyatt. Number 25, Justin Bell. Number 26, Cash Hogan. Number 27, Lawson Waller. Number 35, Langston Wells. Number 36, Fisher Jones. Number 45, Grant Cassis. Number 55, Peyton Downs. Number 87, Evan Valero. Number 88, Michael White. 95, Henry Ziegler. Number 99, Jude Kitchens. And our coaches for 3rd and 4th grade, Scott Moore, Daniel Cassis, Roger Fulmer, Clay Butler, Scott Jones, and Reagan Cobb. Once again, let's give a round of applause for our 3rd and 4th grade league champions. And now coming out on the field, our 5th and 6th grade team, which finished 4-2 for the record. The team members are number 1, Jackson Hill. Let me try this again. So, number 1, Jackson Harrell. Number 2, Tate Cash. Number 3, Ryder Rainwater. Number 4, Benton Barkley. Number 5, Judson Taylor. Number 6, Harm Bruce. Number 7, Brian White. Number 8, Ty Wilson. Number 9, Cole Critchlow. Number 10, Eli White. Number 11, Landon Vivial. Number 12, Henry Todd Ballman. Number 14, Noah Hamilton. Number 15, Levi Mike. Number 16, Levi Buchanan. Number 17, Leighton Weisner. Number 18, Brendan Wegner. Number 20, Michael Legg. Number 21, Eli Smith. Number 22, Ian Carey. Number 23, Cannon Lee. Number 27, Moses Post. Number 40, Tanner Thomas. Number 42, Brody Brown. Number 45, Carson McQuillan. Number 56, Maddox Poole. Number 75, Shep Stevens. Number 84, Braden Herring. Number 85, Weston Brown. Number 87, Brennan Mann. Number 88, John Shepard Pruden. And number 91, Aiden Hitton. Our coaches for 5th and 6th grade, Cody Bauman, Greg Wilson, Joe Brown, Jake Stevens, Nick White, Chuck Thomas, and Grant Taylor. Let's give another round of applause for our 5th and 6th grade teams. One more time, OCS fans, please help me congratulate these 2 teams on a successful season. The future of OCS football is very bright. Varsity cheerleaders.
Everyone likes to be on the winning team, but there are always many obstacles in the way. Join us at Forsyth Church of Christ, where we celebrate overcoming the hurdles and struggles of life together. We are a community of faith, supporting each other's victories. Come as you are, and let's tackle life's challenges together. Join us at Forsyth Church of Christ this Sunday at 10 a.m. Visit facoc.org for more information. Go Eagles!
Forsyth Family Medical Clinic with Angela Hamby. Here's what patients have to say.
Angela is an excellent healthcare provider. She has knowledge, compassion, and integrity.
As a single parent, it's nice to have a medical clinic that makes you feel welcome. Most clinics are just another visit to them.
Forsyth Family Medical treats you like family. Make Forsyth Family Medical Clinic with Angela Hamby your home for family health care. 5000 Forsyth Bypass in Monroe.
There's no better time to get rid of those glasses or contacts. Now with the latest in LASIK, all laser eye LASIK, safe and ultra precise. Call for a free evaluation. 318-32-LASER, 318-32-LASER.
Make the high, humble decision for your LASIK care and clear vision.
Are you tired of pushing through the pain? Do you struggle day in and day out with simple tasks? Are you ready for change? If so, call Louisiana Pain Care. At Louisiana Pain Care, our doctors are board certified and fellowship trained to target the source of your pain and help you manage it. Visit lapaincare.com for more information and to schedule your appointment. Louisiana Pain Care, your spine care experts.
Hi, I'm Dustin Balance with Ludwig Marine here on Darbone Lake, 110 Old Highway 15 in Farmerville, Louisiana. We have all your needs to have a great day on the water. From bass fishing, we carry a full line of products and services. Come check out our impressive lineup of Ranger bass boats, pontoon boats, and aluminum boats as well. Give me a call today, 318-368-8922. Ludwig Marine would like to say go Eagles.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm Home and Auto Insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ron Bush is ready to help you combine home and auto and save with 2 locations to serve you in Bastrop and Sterlington. Call 318-388-4663 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Trinity Diamonds Direct, 201 Blanchard Street in West Monroe. Wholesale jewelry with integrity. They provide honest, professional experience while offering stunning diamonds and fine jewelry at or below wholesale prices. And we do custom pieces by appointment. Engagement rings, tennis bracelets, pearls, earrings, necklaces, gemstones, loose diamonds, and jewelry repairs. Trinity Diamonds Direct, 201 Blanchard Street in West Monroe.
At Veros Creative, we're experts at websites for small businesses. From website creation to on-page photography and videography, we've got you covered. And with single-page sites starting at only $500 and multi-page sites starting at $1,500, we're a low-cost, high-reward option that will have you up and running in under 2 weeks. Visit us at Veros Creative today to get started. That's VEROS Creative.com. Veros Creative is a proud sponsor of OCS football.
There comes a time in every dip's life when it's ready to leave the slow cooker, even buffalo chicken dip. So we put juicy chicken, buffalo sauce, and melty cheese in a portable crispy golden shell. Runaway dip, you're free now. Sonic $2.99 buffalo chicken dip bites.
On the ground rushing, seemed like there were maybe 7 or 8 tackles for loss at least. You know, we had some guys that played really well. I mentioned Ben Duvall in the first half. It just seemed like he was in on every play, and he leads all OCS tacklers with 7 tackles. I didn't even see how many of those were for loss, but he's been in the backfield quite a bit. Offense has been clicking. I wouldn't say on all cylinders, but on most cylinders. Had a few drops tonight, a few plays that didn't develop like they were designed, but Macon Leonard's had a good night on the ground. He's rushed for 56 yards on 4 carries with 2 touchdowns. Noah Lovelady has 1 rush for 41 yards and a touchdown. That was on the fake punt, the punt Ruski. Fun play. It was just a, you have your 2 up backs on the punt, and you snap to one of them, and he just turns around and blindly hands it to the other one, and he takes off, and it's kind of like a hidden handoff. Pretty cool play, and Noah Lovelady runs it down and gets into the end zone. Let's see here. Tate Hamby has 1 rush for 11 yards and a touchdown, also a punt return touchdown, and Patrick Turpin has 1 catch for 20 yards and a touchdown. I mentioned the drops tonight. I think our offense really could have exploded. Just a couple drops. I know it seems like the energy's been really good, and we mentioned before the game that Noah Lovelady's on track to break the all-time tackles record. So far, he's had 2 tackles, and I kind of alluded to that. That it seemed like Ben Duvall was hogging all the tackles, and he has. But Noah Lovelady, it looks like he's now either 4 or 5 tackles away from breaking that record, and not many scores in our area that impact where we stand in terms of the playoff situation. One is Ascension Catholic and White Castle are playing. Kind of a weird game. We usually don't talk about these teams, but Ascension Catholic is winning against White Castle, and that could put them up into a territory where they get a bye, which is interesting because we've played them each of the last 2 years, and I guess kind of in my own predictions that I mess with from time to time, we could play them again in the quarterfinals. But I do want to bring Nick in on this, and also want to say that Homer is beating Glenbrook 24-8. Glenbrook's one of those teams that is also right around 8 to 10 area, trying to look for a bye. Losing this game is not going to help out with that. So Nick, that's kind of, I don't know if you were listening to all the stats and situations, but
and I think that's all intriguing. I looked at the power rankings, I believe yesterday. I don't know. I've been traveling all week, so it was kind of a fog. But I looked at the power rankings. I want to say, did St. Mary's get beat? Is that right?
Yeah, they lost.
They were the 1 spot. Non-select.
They lost to Logansport last night, I think 22 to 3. And that was one of the games I actually watched. I found a guy who was recorded on Facebook, and so I watched the last 6 minutes of it. And St. Mary just really had a hard time getting going on offense. So they were never really in that game. Their only score came on a 42-yard field goal, and that was kind of devastating because they had been sitting number 1 pretty much most of the year. So for them, it probably was. Right now they're sitting at I think at 3. And I fully expect OCS to jump them tonight and move up to at least 3, possibly jump Riverside as well and move up to 2.
And I think that's important. And again, you're kind of the power rankings. I'm going to call you a nerd, even though you're not a nerd. But
I kind of am.
You're like a savant on it. Like you're on top of it. I was listening to another actually a 5A high school coaches show last night after we got done with basketball practice for the boys, and like the compliments, and it's Ruston. I mean, Jared Ball was complimenting this Ouachita Christian football team, and even, because they're playing Ouachita this week, which obviously we beat, but he was complimenting, just seeing on film how good this team is. And I think that's the one thing, I was talking with somebody down here on the field a little bit, Daniel, like, that's a little, like, I mean, obviously this game is in hand, 42-0, and no disrespect to Lincoln Prep, but I think next week is next Thursday, by the way, is going to be something similar, and then a bye. So I think the concern, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago after the Harding Academy game, was you don't want to get complacent, and I think it's a time to get healthy. Obviously, you want to play as best you can, but I think we all agree, and this was a gauntlet in the first seven weeks of the season. Iron sharpens iron, and I'm a little concerned that maybe you lose a little bit of that sharpness going into the playoffs, just with you go from Oak Grove and Ouachita and Harding Academy to this game tonight, and then next week we'll officially, if the Eagles take care of business, with lock down another district championship, by the way. And Cedar Creek took care of Lincoln Prep last night also. But I think that's something Daniel, I want to get your thoughts. Like, I think, and then you're looking at hopefully a bye, but that's something I just worry about, is basically you're going to have a month. And you just don't want to see this football team. You want to see them get healthy, but you don't want to see them get complacent, if that makes sense.
Well, if we had 15 sophomores that we relied on heavily, I would be concerned about it. But we have 15 seniors who are making their 4th run into the playoffs, and so they know what that's like, and they know that it's not an easy trek to get through the playoffs. It's not guaranteed that we're going to be at home. every week, only the first week, and if we make the semifinals as a number 2 seed, we'll be at home certainly then also. But so they know what to expect, which is good not only for them but also for the younger players that say, hey, we're gonna do this, and they can step up. And I know Lovelady talked about this when he was on the coach show. He goes, hey, you got to say, you know what, we know what it takes, man. We're gonna grind and we're gonna push, and we'll get healthy, we'll rehab and make sure our bodies are healthy. But hey, the season's not over yet. I told David this week, I said, you know what, pretty much the preseason's over. Now it's the real season, because that's the way it's been for the last few years. And if you put the games together that they've played more than an additional season, because they played more, I think they played 12 or 13 additional games, all playoff games. So
yeah, and that's a great point as well. And yes, whenever you have this senior-laden team, in fact, this is how much people are talking about Ouachita Christian. I was at a work conference, and the general manager, who is like 29 years old at Tulane, but obviously in New Orleans, but this is how much respect this OCS football team has. He said, hey, don't your kids go to Ouachita Christian? And I said, yeah. And he said, man, I heard them talking about them and how good they are down there on New Orleans radio. So, and I think, Daniel, to your point, just having this veteran team is what we hope is going to push them over the top and try to get them back, down to the dome, which I think we're all hoping that we're going to get to. Real quick, before we get started for the second half, you did mention we just honored our 3rd and 4th grade champions, by the way, and 5th and 6th grade. David, I don't know if you're back on the mic or not, but I know, David, you coached for years in rec league. I love what we're doing here and getting all of our sports starting in 3rd grade. We're putting everything under the Ouachita Christian funnel, and to have our 3rd and 4th grade football teams, our 5th and 6th grade football teams honored out here on the field. That was something Coach Fitzhugh specifically requested to do. He would come to most of the games, and he's already looking ahead to the future. But really cool for those kids, and I can tell you just by having 2, one on each team, that they all look forward to these Friday night lights out here in a few years.
Yeah, well, thanks, Nick. Great sideline report there, brought to you by Marion State Bank. Also want to thank our, let's see, where is she at over here? Ashton Smith, in-game scoreboard update sponsor, as we're ahead 42-0 here at halftime. And we talked about some of the other scores, David, that kind of looking ahead to the that it can affect PowerPoints or maybe who we match up against. But definitely want to thank Ashton. If you need anything with insurance, call her at Shelter Insurance, Agent Ashton Smith, 318-343-3582. Also want to thank our halftime show sponsor, Sterlington Physical Therapy, located at 8649 Highway 165 North. Give Craig a call, 235-9326. Again, that's 235-9326. Get your appointment set up. So Nick said, and you weren't back on the air yet, but he said, we got to see the 5th and 6th grade team out there, and then also the 3rd and 4th grade team who won a championship. And he alluded to you being a retired 5th and 6th. Where are you at? There you go.
No, not retired.
Oh,
not retired. I'm on hiatus.
Oh, wait. So you're helping us out next year then? Is
No.
what you're saying?
No. On hiatus.
Yeah.
On hiatus. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
He's saying it's negotiable.
I feel like Daniel, we can twist his arm. I feel like this is going to happen. I feel like he's got the itch to get back out there.
I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
Well,
I can be persuaded.
But and look, we're going to have a lot of opportunities to talk. Hopefully, this second half's going to run pretty fast. But what I was saying, David, you missed it, was just how cool that we've streamlined everything. Whenever you coached, you had to do it through the YMCA, and now we've streamlined everything starting in 3rd grade, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, I think soccer, everything's. We're in a league, and
I think we touched that.
We're running everything through Ouachita Christian, so it's just really cool to see them get honored. So I'll turn it back over to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Nick. The Cougars come out with a little trickery of their own this time to start the second half. They go with the onside kick. One of the Eagles, Daniel,
It didn't travel 10 yards.
Yeah, I think unfortunately try to kind of made a move here or there to, maybe try to corral it or look at it or whatever.
Well, I think he tried to jump over it. The ball kicked up and hit his foot, and Cougars following it.
Absolutely. Heads-up play by Grant as they'll take over 1st down and 10 to get the second half underway. Best starting field position of the night for the Cougars, that's for sure, with the ball at their own 49-yard line. And clock's going to run the whole second half.
You didn't hear the
Eagles up by
stats.
42.
They had negative 22 total yards, so the Eagles defense was just really heavy on this Cougars offense. Now they're a yard away from crossing midfield.
First down and 10. They turn, keep this one on the ground. And the first half is going to start like the second half, or the second half starts like the first half ended. No gain on the play. Actually looks like number 2, Keith McKinney, on the ball carrier that time, and made it back to the line of scrimmage, and no more.
Yeah, good job by the Eagles defensive line. We're seeing some different players in right now. We'll try to get their names called, but you know, one thing I did like about the first half, David, was, you know, we saw 3 or 4 different guys carry the ball. We saw 3 or 4 different guys catch the ball. There wasn't a high volume to any one single player, so good job with the Eagles following the ways to win tonight.
And keep this on the ground again with McKinney, and he'll fall forward. A tough run inside. He's going to pick up 2 yards on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 8. Tough running inside. Daniel, looks like a lot of the Eagle starters still in the game right now, but also maybe a few fresh faces mixed in with them.
I think the tackle was made by, it looks like number 68, Hunter Canal is in the game. Eli Gray's in. So a good mix. Wyatt Wilson's in the game. It's a good mix of players. Hunter Traxler's in at the rover position.
Third down and 8 for the Cougars. Ball at the Eagle 48-yard line. Wyndham looks to the sideline. Maybe get the play call, and does. But he better do it in a hurry. Play clock's down to 5, 4. High snap, pulls it down, shoots it out in the flat.
Oh.
And a missed tackle that time by initially. But number 10, that's Jaden Moore. Moore hauls it in. And unfortunately for the Cougars, he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. So it's actually going to bring up 4th down and 9, and it looks like the Cougars are going to keep the offense on the field. Why not?
Yeah. The more I look at this defense, I mean, I see Cooper Russell. He's played, you know, a good bit. Trace Busby's in there, so he's kind of helping with these young defensive linemen. He's a senior, and then Aiden Eldridge at the back. So at each level, they have a player with experience that's helping some of these young Eagles out.
4th down and 8. Wyndham will set up in the shotgun with an empty backfield. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Got a little bit of time, throws this one quick and underneath. And I think this one's going to depend on the spot. It looks like they'll be a little short, and it's because they are. Gain of 7, they needed 8, and it's going to be a change of possession, and the Ouachita Christian Eagles will take over. But it looks to me like number 15 is coming off the field.
Well, we got, Luke Vadrine's in at quarterback. We've got our offensive line in. But then a whole new set of receivers.
I was thinking maybe Cam would have been hanging out there to play a little QB.
Well, that's his brother Cole that plays QB. Cam plays receiver. Too many of them. Carter graduated last year.
Okay. Okay. There it is. Luke Vadrine's going to turn. He hands this one off. Tough run inside that time by number 32. That's Jude Turner. Turner with a nice explosive run right up the middle of the field. Gain of 6 yards on the play. Takes a shot right there at the end of it. Bounces up. Again, they go with Turner. Turner goes right up the middle of the field. Makes one man miss. Now he makes another man miss. Nice tough run that time by Turner right up the middle of the field. And that's going to be more than enough for a community pharmacy first down.
Yeah, good run there by Jude. Of course, we've been saying his older brother John, his name for a couple years, so picked up a good chunk of yards there on that last run.
So we got a lot of brother combos is what you're telling me.
Yes, I mean, it's kind of ingrained in the DNA of OCS football. We've seen that several times. Fitzhugh, we've seen a lot of Fitzhughs come through, you know.
Well, it looks like there's going to be
I didn't catch what that was.
Well, it's a big one. Must have been a face mask, Daniel. 15 yards. So it's going to put the Eagles now inside the Washam Agency red zone with the ball at the 15-yard line. Luke Vadrine stays in at quarterback. Turner joins him in the gun. Quick throw. That was going to be complete out in the flat to number 4, Boyd Wilkes.
No, that's Connor Robertson. Then we got the 2 number 4s, remember? That's Connor.
Number 4, Connor Robinson on the reception for the Eagles.
Gain of 7.
19, Luke McGreen, second down.
It's going to bring up second down.
4 for the Eagles.
And 3. Ball inside the Washam Agency red zone at the 13-yard line. Vadreen in the shotgun. Turner joins him in the gun. Turns, hands this one to Turner. He's got some running room, plants his outside leg, explodes through the hole, and he's going to put another touchdown on the board for Ouachita Christian. And I will tell you something. That was a really nice instinctual run. He got to the edge, he set the edge, and then planted that outside leg and made a really nice cut inside. No wasted energy, no wasted motion as he exploded through the hole and he takes it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, sees the end zone and has a couple guys in the way and decides not to slow down, and they just kind of open the door and let him on in.
Turner takes it in to add to the Eagle lead, 7 yards out. Extra point attempt is up, and it's good. As Polk continues to add to his career total of when probably by the time that he runs out of eligibility here at Ouachita Christian, it's probably going to be a pretty impressive total.
Yeah, he's going to be at the top of the list. Percentage-wise, he's already up there, 95, 96% for his career. Just a sophomore, you know. He only missed 2 last year. He's only missed 2 this year, and you know, he scored quite a few touchdowns in that almost 2 years that he's been kicking. So he's just a sophomore again.
I want to thank tonight's third quarter sponsor, Valerie Van Mathern, attorney at law, specializing in estate planning and successions. Call Valerie today, 807-9030. Again, that's 318-807-9030 to schedule your appointment. Valerie Van Mathern, longtime supporter of Ouachita Christian Eagle football and Ouachita Christian athletics. I want to thank Valerie and her team at Valerie Van Mathern, attorney at law. Reed Smalling is going to tee this one up at the 40-yard line. See just how tricky he gets with this. And this one's going to be a little bit lower.
Oh, that hit him.
I'm going to travel out of bounds, but not before the ball runs into number 9, Landon Fredo. So first down and 10 for Grant at their own 32-yard line. Clock running with 3 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Ouachita Christian 49, Grant 0. Long night for number 4, Zane Wyndham and the Grant Cougars.
Imagine he hasn't had much experience playing behind a senior quarterback. I would guess this would be his first career start. And against a defense like this OCS defense, really tough task.
McKinney on the carry that time for the Cougars. Gain of 5 yards on the play. And it's going to bring up second down and 5 for Grant at their own 37-yard line. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to play in the third quarter. It seems like the quarter's going by quick.
Yeah.
It's because it is.
It is. So they're in no hurry right here. I do want to say, for those of you watching online, if you're watching the live stream, we're having some issues with our scoreboard. So we do have a running clock on the field, and I know David will keep you up to date with how much time is remaining.
Again, they keep this one on the ground with McKinney. Penalty marker on the play is going to be a face mask against the Eagles. And it's going to cost Ouachita Christian 15 yards.
And a first down.
And a first down.
Face mask is the call against the
Clock
Eagles.
continuing to run with 1 minute and 40 seconds left to play here in the third quarter.
You know, Nick mentioned earlier the experience that some of these players are getting, some varsity experience against a more of a quality opponent than, let's say, somebody like Tensall or somebody like that. You know, this Grant team had some success early in the year, but again, they just seem like they've been ravaged by injuries. We look at the roster we have, there's a lot more names on the list than we see players dressed out tonight.
First down and 10 for the Cougars following the face mask penalty. Ball's going to be at their own 44-yard line. Minute left to play in the third quarter. And as you mentioned earlier, Daniel, they are in no hurry to get this ball snapped.
And we're under a minute to go. That's
Wyndham going to feel some pressure, and he's going to be sacked.
Yeah, that was Cooper Russell in on the sack there from the middle linebacker position.
Wyndham's going to lose some yardage on that play. Loss of 7. It's going to bring up now 2nd and 17. I tell you, man, there's nothing better than being a freshman and getting to play some varsity football.
That's right. Yeah. So, trying to see. I think Hunter Canal out there at kind of the nose guard position. Trace is out here at the defensive end, but Hunter's a freshman. We saw Luke Edwards earlier on the field. He's a freshman. Jude Turner's a freshman. So, you know,
Cougars keep this ball on the ground. This time they go with a fullback, number 37, Caden Chandler, and Chandler's going to lose 1 yard on the play, so it's going to bring up third down now and 18. And that is going to bring it into the third quarter of play. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Nick White and a Marion State Bank sideline report.
Give us something good here, Nick.
Well, I don't know. I mean, y'all, what do you want me to say? You know, I can just see, you know, with Grant, you know, taking their time. I mean, they pretty much waved the white flag, and you know, it's almost. I mean, I understand like you got to continue to play the game, but at some point you just say, hey, we're ready to head back to Grant Parish. I don't know, but credit something that was really cool in that last touchdown by Turner, who's a freshman. Just to see like these seniors like rally and like be excited for him and like congratulate him. I mean that's one of the cool things about, you know, and why this is fun being back down here on the sideline and just seeing this and getting the interaction with these guys that, you know, they're all, you know, doesn't matter if you're a senior who starts or a freshman who's third string. You know, they're all just rooting for each other, and that's why you got this such great team unity with this football team, and moving forward, that's going to be very important. And these guys are getting quality snaps. It's not like playing in a JV game or a freshman game. This is varsity action, and you get a chance to earn a letter as well.
That's right. Yeah. Thanks, Nick. I do want to mention Jude Turner. David, I've talked to you about Jude Turner. He's a freshman, a player that you definitely want to keep your eyes on in the years to come. He's going to be an outstanding, dynamic player for the Eagles.
Nice run so far tonight. Third down and a bundle for Grant. Let's call it 3rd and 18. Ball at the Cougar 36-yard line. Wyndham in the shotgun. Good snap from center. Looks to throw. Puts some air under this one. It's going to be intercepted. That's going to be Turpin on the interception for the Eagles. Not a very well thrown football that time by Wyndham, and puts way too much air under it. Turpin plays center field on it and drags it in. 11 yards on the interception return. So the Eagles will set up shop with really good field position. Clock continuing to run here in the fourth quarter with 11 minutes left to play in the football game. Ouachita Christian 49, Grant 0.
Yeah, so
and we do have the change at quarterback now. Number 23, Cole Voyan. As you mentioned earlier, I thought Cam was coming in. It's Cole.
Yeah.
Cole. He stands in the shotgun with a running back behind him. Good snap from center. Looks to throw, and he does. That one's going to be complete. Voyan comes in relief of Vadrine and completes his first pass of the night. A gain of 5 yards on the play, and he completes that one to number 1, Reed Smalling. Nice throw and a nice catch. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. Ball in Cougar territory. The Grant 43-yard line. Voyan in the shotgun. High snap, he handles it. Gonna turn this, hands this one to Turner. Turner's got some running room. He's across the 40, the 45, or 40-35 before he's run out of bounds on the far side of the field. But that's gonna be more than enough for a community pharmacy first down. And actually 34, that's Eli Gray. Gain of 11 yards on the play. A nice run that time by Eli. Looks like he's kind of shaking up on the play, Daniel. But I don't think he's coming out.
Eli's a sophomore. I have him in class, and I can guarantee you he doesn't want to come out.
That's right. Give him a chance to play here. So here we go. Nice run by Gray on the last one. First down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at the Cougar 32. Voyon in the shotgun. Gray joins him. Turns. Hands this one to Gray. Gray with a nice tough run up the middle of the field. Continuing to push the pile. And, boy, I tell you what, a nice run that time by Gray. That's going to be more than enough for another community pharmacy first down. And that is going to put the Eagles inside the Washam Agency red zone. First down and 10 at the 19-yard line of the Grant Cougars. Clock running now with 9 minutes left to play in the ball game.
You're a running back. You know, you may be retired from that now, but you were a running back.
I am officially retired.
But it's kind of neat to see the different styles. Gray with a low center of gravity, just busted up the middle there. It was a good run.
Nice tough run from somebody that was walking around with a limp too.
Yep.
Again, they're going to pull this one. Voyon's going to try his own luck, and he's going to pick up positive yardage, a gain of 5 yards on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 5 for the Eagles at the Cougar 15. Inside the Washam Agency red zone.
So kind of a shift change with your specialty players, your skill position players. Jude Turner back in, Maddox Fitzhugh, John Bowles, and looks like Christian Knight in at receiver.
Voyon in the shotgun. Turner joins him in the gun. Good snap. Gives this one to Turner. Turner's going to get hit low, and this time they're going to wrap him up. Still going to be a positive gain on the play. Gain of 7 yards, and that's going to be more than enough for another community pharmacy first down. Inside the Washam Agency red zone, first down and goal for the Eagles at the Cougar 7.
So looks like our offense is leaving our 2 starting guards in, and then they bring Stacy Shaw in to snap the ball. Now, when Drew Mosier went down earlier in the year, Stacy came in and snapped, so they're giving him some work. So you kind of like the, it's a clever way to get somebody some experience that you may need down the road. Oh, no.
And just as soon as you said that, we're going to have penalty markers all over the field. As that one got snapped a little early. So it is going to be a legal procedure against the Eagles. But I tell you what, it's a whole lot better than the 20-yard loss they were going to have if that penalty marker wasn't thrown.
Yep. Yep, didn't look like Voyon was ready for that. Just goes right over his head, and like you mentioned, luckily it was there was a flag instead of losing the down and the additional 8 yards or so.
So they'll back this one up to about the 11-yard line. Voyon gets the troops ready. First and goal at the 11. Good snap from center. Keeps this one on the ground. Going to cut this one upfield. That's Turner. Turner gets inside the 10, gets down to around the 6, gain of 6 yards on the play. It looks like, let's see where they put this football officially. They're going to put it at the 6-yard line, maybe the 7. Second and goal from the 7. These young Eagles trying to put points on the board. On in relief, Luke Vadrine. Cole Voyon in the shotgun with an eye backfield behind him. Turns, hands this one to Turner. Turner makes one man miss, and he's going to go in untouched. It's number 32 for the Eagles, Jude Turner. Turner's going to have his second touchdown of the night. Not a bad night's work for a freshman running back as he scores from 7 yards out. Heck, I think he scored from 7 yards out last time.
Yeah.
Lucky 7.
Yeah, the clock continues to tick, though. We're at 5.5 minutes, and it is cool to see all these guys. I mean, I think Fitzhugh and Vadrine, they are emptying their bench. They are putting everybody getting some playing time in this game, and how cool is that?
Good snap, good hold. Polk adds the extra point. So with 5 minutes left to play in the football game, Ouachita Christian 56, Grant 0.
You know, one of the victories, I'm looking down the sideline. I saw Jet Hudnall down there, and he's walking around, still got his helmet, and, you know, he's smiling. I see Zach White's got a headset on. It's good that they didn't have to play tonight. Fitchu said he'd call them if needed, and it's a good thing that they were not needed. We're going to need both of those guys healthy. Maybe not next week, but in a couple weeks we're going to need them 100%.
Well, I got to tell you, you want to let those two young men get as healthy as humanly possible, because we're going to make a run. And I tell you what, there's some good football teams in our division. You and I both know it.
Yeah, that's right. I told you last night, you know, I think we're going to have a hard time making it really deep without, you know, the skills that Zach White brings. I mean, his leadership, you know, he's just such a great player for this team. And, you know, I know he wants to play. He doesn't want to watch from the sidelines. He wants to play, so he'll get back as soon as he can.
Smalling kicks this one. Not as much height on that one as some of his earlier ones. A gain of 5 yards on the return. That's actually number 9, Landon Fredo, for the Cougars.
You think this is the last possession of the game?
I do.
I do too.
I do, because the Cougars are going to start with 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Well, they're not going to start probably until a little less than 3:30.
They haven't even started the play clock yet. Yet the game clock is continuing to run, so they'll probably run 2 plays here, and that'll do it.
Three minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the football game. We want to thank Eagle Point and Boat and RV Storage, longtime supporters of Ouachita Christian Eagle football. Eagle Point Boat and RV Storage, located on beautiful Lake D'Arbonne in Farmerville, Louisiana. Proud longtime supporter of Ouachita Christian Eagle football. And again, we want to thank the fine folks at Eagle Point Boat and RV Storage. Tonight's fourth quarter sponsor. Well, tonight and every night.
Yep.
And by the way, every night for several years
That's
now.
right.
Folks at Eagle Point have always been a supporter. First down and 10 for Grant, probably the last couple of plays of the night. They're going to line up in their Wildcat formation, and they try number 2 again. It's Keith McKinney. McKinney's had limited success. Looks like he makes it back to the line of scrimmage this time and no more.
You know, we were talking about the whole PowerPoints thing. One team that we want to keep an eye on is Ouachita. They're playing Ruston tonight, and Ruston's having their way. I mean, it's 49-7 at halftime. But next week, Ouachita plays Pineville, and that's a winnable game. If Ouachita can beat Pineville, that'll make that a 20-point game, which will essentially be the biggest game on our schedule points-wise.
Do you know who one of the biggest Pineville Rebel fans is next week? Me.
Huh?
Me.
No, we want Ouachita to win that game.
No.
Yeah.
Ouachita Lion fans.
Yeah,
Sorry
Ouachita
about
Lion,
that.
yes.
No, I'm definitely not cheering for Pineville.
Yeah. We want Ouachita to win that game, and that way we get that point. You know, there's not very many teams. I mean, any game that we can get an opponent win that guys ahead of us or around us in the PowerPoint rankings don't get, that would be one of those games. So
I'll tell you what, Ouachita's not hard to cheer for, even when they're not.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, I'm a big Lion guy. I like that.
We want Mansfield to win. You know, and believe it or not, we even want Oak Grove to keep on winning. So it's tough to say.
Yeah. But it's okay.
If we could do it without them winning, we would.
Yeah, if it serves our purposes, we're okay with
That's
that.
That's right.
Clock continuing to wind down in a 56-0 victory for the Ouachita Christian Eagles. Grant still lining up in a Wildcat formation. And this young Eagle defense, boy, they're feisty.
Yep.
Crawling all over the ball carrier. That was actually number 7 that time, Hunter Nelson. Nelson gets wrapped up that time by a group of Eagle defenders. Going to be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And this, I can tell you, this is going to be the last play of the night.
They're not going to snap it unless the official makes them snap it. But, you know, one thing also I want to point out is that, you know, we have a 4-team district right now. And a lot of those Division IV schools down south, they have much bigger districts. So they are still in district play. And so, we're here playing a non-district game. Those are good for your PowerPoints.
Playing a non-district game and playing up in class.
That's right. And, when you play a district game, you're guaranteed to win, but you're also guaranteed a loss.
Daniel, they're going to let this clock wind down, and this football game is going to end. The Ouachita Christian Eagles are going to come away with a 56-0 victory over the Grant Cougars. As the Eagles get ready for the final week of the season. And if I'm not mistaken, and I'll tell you right now, I don't know if we're making a trip over to Ruston or if Lincoln Prep's coming here.
Lincoln Prep's coming here.
All right, so it'll be another home game next week. Let's go down to the sideline and check in one final time with Nick White, the Marion State Bank sideline report. Nick, how's it going?
Well, great. I mean, 56-0. Everybody got in the football game. I think that's really important here. And you know, I'm going to really start. And Daniel, you're going to update David and I'm sure all week on just like the power ranking scenario. I think what's also cool about next week is it's a Thursday night football game. So this Eagle team, whenever you start looking ahead, I'm sure they're going to have an opportunity to go and maybe scout some potential opponents there in the playoffs. But tonight, just a purely dominating performance by this Ouachita Christian football team. I guess the only disappointment is Noah Lovelady didn't get the tackling record according to my records.
Yeah,
Daniel,
well, you know
is
what?
that right?
Hey, you know what? Thank Ben Duvall about all that.
I know. I think he only ended up with, what, two?
Two,
I was trying to
two or
stay
three,
with
I think
Jonathan
two.
Jonathan Oglesby. I was trying to stay on his hip just because he was going to let me know whenever it officially happened, and that's okay. You got next week, and you got the playoffs, and you know, Lord willing, he stays healthy. He's gonna get that opportunity. Other positives: Tate Hamby with another punt return, 9th of his career. And then again, going back to, you got everybody in this football game, and you're going to get some quality power points out of this win. So all in all, nothing really to complain about from my end here tonight.
Nick, if you win 56-0, it's got to be positive, right?
There's nothing but positives whenever you win 56-0, and the clock was running midway through the second quarter.
And we get to go home early tonight? Is that what you're saying?
Dude, after my week, I'm ready. I'm ready to go home. So, hey, I wanted to bust your chops a little. I didn't get a chance to because the thing ran so fast. You know, Daniel, you talked about David's stellar high school football career, but do you know the story of him shattering his hamstring down here on this track here a few years ago?
No, I've heard about that. What did he try to race a kid?
There's a song by Toby Keith, "You're Not as Good as You Once Was."
Yeah.
I think we all have to realize that, and I think David realized that a few years ago. Is that correct?
I stretch a little better now.
Yeah. Learned his lesson.
Hey guys, this was fun, man. This was
Absolutely.
fun, and great to call another Eagle win, and let's get ready for Thursday night.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nick. Nick White with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Both teams out at midfield having a moment of prayer and giving thanks for a great night here. The weather was fantastic, and looks like both teams are going to get out of here with Daniel. I didn't see anybody go down that would have required medical attention, but you know, hopefully both teams walk away unscathed. And you know, tough night for the Grant Cougars, but you want to tip your hat to Grant tonight. Never got chippy, never got ugly. All it was two teams playing football. Great level of sportsmanship shown by the guys from Grant, and you know, tough night for them. A lot of injuries and even some illness. Apparently, some of the players, 3 of their starters, out with the flu tonight. So, you know, you come in without all your guys, and it makes it for a long night. But great group of young men from Grant coming up to take on the Eagles tonight.
Yeah, you can definitely see that a lot of the players that they played, they had a freshman at quarterback. You know, just a lot of the players kind of look like freshmen out there. They look young, and you know, I'm sure a lot of kids for Grant got experience that they did not anticipate getting really any time this season. And you know, we've gone into games before where we've been less than 100%, and it's difficult, not just on the individuals who are hurt, but also on the rest of the team, knowing that their guys aren't out there with them. So I think you can see some of that with Grant tonight.
Senior quarterback.
Yeah.
A senior quarterback that's probably been the leader, kind of the focal guy of this team. And when you go down, when you don't have him, boy, it can make for a long night.
But not to take anything away from the Eagles. I mean, really sharp. I mentioned the 2 things that weren't as sharp as you want them to be were the snaps. You know, we want to clean those up just a little bit. Wasn't terrible, wasn't catastrophic, and then the couple drops by the wide receivers. And so you kind of want to clean those things up. You know, you're going to have to, at some point this season, we're going to go into a game where we're going to have to play our best game to win.
You're not going to be able to get away with dropping a touchdown against some of these guys, right?
Yeah.
And the Eagles' level of competition, well, I mean, you know, against Lincoln Prep next week, it may not live up to what you'd like to see, but the playoffs start. And again, hopefully everything continues. Now, look, I'm going to tell you, Eagle fans already want to know. Look, I mean, most people they don't follow the power ratings. They don't understand. It's just too. It's just the minutia is not there. I mean, it's everywhere, right? So what they want is they need a guy that's going to bring them up to speed on the power ratings next week, right?
Well, I may have to do it remotely. I may have to call in.
I know, but that's I mean, so you're out next week, right?
Yeah, yes, I'm going to a conference, a little professional development.
Look at that.
I work at Forsyth Church of Christ, and I work at here also, and it's a conference in Dallas that's
youth minister extraordinaire.
Yeah, that's right, and Bible teacher, so it's going to benefit, what I do for a day job.
So you're mailing it in, is what you're saying.
I may phone it in if I need to. I think we may be able to figure out how to work that, but
maybe give me some notes.
I'll tell you this. I'll have one at the coaches show this week.
Ah, nice.
So we'll have an update and maybe some prospective opponents. I kind of have in my mind right now some of the teams that we could possibly see. Not in the first round that we play, but we'll play. If we move up to 2, we'll play the winner of the 15 versus 18 game, and then after that, we're liable to see. Maybe a number 9 or somebody, number 7, 7 or 10, something like that. And, that's part of it. That's part of the fun in it for me. I love looking at that stuff. When I coached softball, that was one thing I tried to keep up with. And, I'll tell you what I like, though, is I spent some time with Fitzhugh this week, with that coach's show that I was mentioning. But, hey, he keeps up with it, too. I mean, I was going to ask him some questions, and he beat me to the punch because he knew where I was going with these questions when it came to, to the PowerPoints and how the shakeup will come about. So expect to see a lot of movement if you're keeping up with it.
Well, the Ouachita Christian Eagles are going to defeat the Grant Cougars tonight 56-0 as the Eagles get ready to end the regular season of 2023 next week. It's going to be a Thursday night game against the Lincoln Prep Panthers, and should be Lincoln Prep not having one of their better seasons of the year, but should be an entertaining game and maybe an opportunity for some of these young guys to get some reps as well.
I think it's senior night for us.
Oh, fantastic!
Yep.
Coach Fitzhugh does a fantastic job with senior night. Does a great job of honoring these young men, and senior night's a big deal here at the school. Well, the Eagles, we're going to wrap this one up. The Eagles win this one going away 56-0. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and especially want to thank Nick White down on the sideline with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Of course, Daniel Kirkendall making the magic that he does. And I got to tell you something, folks. We produce our own show now. I mean, this is something that I've been kind of holding out on, but we produce everything up here in the booth, and all of it is done under the expertise of Daniel Kirkendall. He makes this thing roll. I mean, there's a lot of buttons that have to be pushed, and I can tell you right now, I don't even know which buttons are buttons, all right? But he makes it happen, and he does such a great job of putting this thing together. So this thing ain't getting on the air without Big D, and I want to thank him for everything that he does up here in this press box. Of course, the numbers provided, that lets us tell you how things are going in this football game, and that's always done by Donnie Haley, and I want to thank Donnie for everything that he does. The live stream was a peach tonight. It looked absolutely fantastic. I couldn't find any flaws in it. I'm sure somebody will, but I couldn't tonight. It looked great to me. And, boy, I tell you, what a great job that the live stream crew does at putting this together for you every week. And looked beautiful tonight as the Eagles win this one big, 56-0. Invite you to come back and join us next week. Again, Thursday night game against Lincoln Prep. It'll be the final game of the season for Ouachita Christian, the regular season, and will be senior night here at Ouachita Christian. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Final score is Ouachita Christian 56, Grant Cougars 0. And again, want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. You've been listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on the Ouachita Christian Sports Network. Have a great evening.